Palubi Jesus lesbian.
Did you read? Did you see
Only,
my name?
only big clitoris. Don't show your little junkie.
Hi, J Mike. May shout out. Yeah, the truth will come out. Yes, you're right, J Mike.
You on Filipino time, huh? You know the best thing he could do, to be honest, the best thing he could do is just come
What?
up, admit it, apologize, and get on with his life, and not do it again. Especially what he did to J. Mike's wife's best friend. You don't
You
go
think?
there and do the Rob Zombie bump and grind, going back to Canada, going back to Canada, like the Rob Zombie video.
Ay, naku, Philip, di ba?
Ay, Nicole Diba. What's Diba doing? He's been in hiding.
Di ba?
Maybe he's making maybe he's making a bunch of videos about the Philippines. Huh? He's stacking. Maybe he's stacking. Huh? So how you been, Honeycomb?
Good.
Today,
I'm up.
slow day. Slow
Yeah,
day for you.
simply did. Yeah, you did to
Nice,
me.
nice, easy day. Go to coffee shop, walk to 7-Eleven, come back home.
Hey,
I didn't
I
spend
mentioned
no.
Darren Dobson showing their little junk on Honeycomb on Messenger.
Simply let vlog. That's Faye, I believe. That's Faye. Faye's here. You know Faye, right? The
That's like,
nurse.
I don't know this one.
Yeah, you know Faye, the nurse. The nurse, Faye.
I don't understand. I asked technical of shut up.
No, I'm just saying that could be the best. The best thing he could do is just come, admit that he did the shit, get it over with, and say it ain't gonna happen again, and stop abusing Filipinos like he did at Jay's party.
Yeah, Philip, it's a culture. Westerner culture sa Pilipinas. They don't know.
See, Faye knows you, but you don't know Faye. Faye's a good person. She's married now.
Okay, sige. Yeah,
She
I
live in
didn't.
she's Filipino, live in the United States. Like Joe live in Canada, she lives in the United States.
Yeah, if you're a Westerner, Philip Janek, and then you bring your Westernerize in Philippines, so you know it's shocking in the Philippines.
Like so, like
Yeah, I don't
so,
know Simple Blanc.
or like so. Tee, 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 tee.
Maybe you are spider, huh? Spider.
No, you want to? I can show you my vagina. You want to see my vagina? I'll
Shut
show you.
up. Uy! Stop it!
Take your belly, squeeze your belly button together. I got a vagina. See?
Don't show your little vagina.
I show you
Oh,
my vagina.
stop it, Philip. Stop it!
I
Yeah, Captain!
know. I
With the
know.
You know what, Philip? I went to Pinay genre today, and then someone depends with him, so I don't care.
Hong Kong, what's up?
No message.
Oh, you got message. That's just it. Mine makes a whole lot of Rosie. Whole lot of Rosie by AC/DC. But that's the way I'm gonna hear the notification. But She's a whole lot of woman, got a whole lot of roses.
You see, you see, Hanika, you were not lying as they said. See, the truth will come out. Yes, J Mike. Oh. J Mike is the one number one supporter of Darren Dobson, right?
Him and Darren used to do collabs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He says he's cutting ties with him also. He says he's still a friend, but he's not going to collaborate with him anymore.
Yeah, that's why. That's why Big E hiding with
Well,
Darren because
as,
he
as
heard.
soon as I heard, as soon as I heard from you and Joe what happened, I blocked him on Facebook. I blocked him. I just put block, boom, block.
That's good.
I don't want to be friends like that. Well, from the other rumors too, like the rumors that he used that Cebu Typhoon money for paying for other stuff too.
I don't know that about Typhoon.
No, that's rumors. I can't prove that either. But I heard from certain people that he
I
used the
think
charity money.
Captain Billy Jackson some money on that Typhoon.
Yeah, Billy Jack, you probably paid for his plane ticket.
Yeah, come on, Captain Billy Jack, pay my ticket.
Pinkies. We want pinkies. Pinky, pinky, pinky.
Kiss traveler.
I'm gonna shut my camera down like this so I don't drain my battery fast. Okay. I'll just
Okay.
be. You gotta show my name though. See, it's not showing up now. It has to say Palubi Jesus lesbian, right?
Yeah, you're not Pulubi. I've read BG.
I
Oh
am
my God.
Palubi. I
You
got
know,
no money yet.
Philip Janet. You know, the number one depends. Brett also said, "Oh, you're making drama, Haniko. Oh, you want to hear you also did this a year ago." I told him.
Yeah, but it happened. It happened to you, right?
Yeah, but Brett Glasso, pretending not doing same thing,
Well,
but he
no,
do.
I
So,
I understand what I'm saying. It happened to you. Okay,
yeah,
so if anybody wants to talk about it, you should be able to talk about it, right? Correct?
that's correct.
Correct.
Minded him apologize.
He needs to come up, apologize, admit that he
Same.
did it, apologize, get it behind, and don't do it again, and start to act like a normal person instead of a creepy person. When I first seen him, I thought he was kind of creepy. There was something wrong. He was just too nice. You know how a person can be too nice?
Mm,
Billy Jack knows what I'm talking about, right? Person's too nice. When they do that stuff, when they act like they're all happy-go-lucky and too nice, they got a dual, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. Behind the scenes, they're different.
yeah, they think
Like,
it's okay. I will show my little junk, so maybe it's okay for her like that. Blah blah blah. People
if
with
you're in a relationship, I wouldn't personally do it. But if you're in a relationship with a woman and she's like flashing you and she wants you to flash her back or whatever stuff, I mean, that's between you two, right? That's between you two. But
we are not boyfriend and girlfriend, Philip Janet.
no, I understand that. I'm saying that's what I said. But even if I was boyfriend and girlfriend, I still wouldn't do it because once it's on the internet, it's out there.
Hi there, Dave Walker, Madam shout out.
Okay, what if your girlfriend gets mad at you, and then all of a sudden
Apologize.
your pictures
Text
are all everywhere?
much more than the 100 I did. Big E in Cebu. Come
Just
on,
just
Biggie.
upload.
I'm begging to come up, Biggie. So let's discuss about this. Come on, Biggie.
Big E, free speech. I thought he'd be on a plane already.
Ay, ay, ay. You
I'm
know
all
what?
wore out, Biggie. I'm all wore out, Biggie. I'm just waiting for it to come to me, man. I'm not chasing it anymore, man. I ain't chasing it anymore, man. It comes to me, it comes to me, man. Hell with it. I wore my TT out years ago.
Mega love shout out.
At my age, I'm too old for that shit anyway, man. Screwing is for making babies. So I don't want to make any more babies.
How are you, Phil, in Chat Village, Panico, baby? I'm good. Baby.
I'm stuck in Thailand. Send me money so I can get home. I'm stuck.
I heard
I
of
heard a
you, David.
rumor. Man out gate. I heard a rumor. Gogus likes beer.
He loves so much.
Rumor has it, man out gate, that he does like a beer every now and then. And 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 16 and 20.
Uh,
I have to come to your salon so you can fix my feet up for me. Take the emery board and file down my toenails.
the big question is, why are these guys sending pic?
Oh, that's easy. It's from that song from the Traveling Filburys. Have you ever heard that song by the Traveling Filburys, Biggie?
Big E is not picture, real, live, like this. Calling me messenger and then boom.
He hasn't. Biggie, you haven't heard the song by the Traveling Filburys yet? You
Culture
will.
is
Traveling instead of the Traveling Wilburys, the Traveling Filburys. I need penis to grind against. I need a penis to abuse. I need to grope me a Filipina now.
yeah, prayer now here, so I need to mute my.
I'm so sad and I'm so lonely. I get on Messenger and show my baloney. Won't you come? I'll drop my pants for you. Everybody needs somebody to grind on. Everybody needs somebody. So let's get it on. My pants have been up and down. Come with Messenger and I'll show you now. I'm such a creepy little clown. Everybody needs somebody to cream on. Everybody needs somebody. So let's grope and get it on. You like that one, Biggie?
I
The
love it. I
traveling,
have my own song I want to play, just as like
the
dueling
the
swords.
traveling Filburys.
So here's my.
What happened? He lost signal. Damn. I'm so sad and I'm so lonely. I gotta show a P-Day my mini baloney. Oh, everybody needs somebody to flash to. Everybody needs somebody. I need some penis too. The Traveling Filburys, man.
Hi, Ernest. Mega love shout out, Ernest. Thank you.
Ernest Legend.
Yeah,
What up,
thank you.
man? We
$1.
missed,
Wait,
we missed you yesterday, Ernest, man. Honeyco got Kale Gervin to give her a pinky.
No, I don't. I didn't get the pinky reset.
Did she retract the pinky? She took the pinky back out?
No pinky last night. So I
That
have
was the night,
commercial.
that was night before last. She gave you a pinky, then she took it back.
Here we go, Ernest. Commercial. Oh, what happened, Biggie? Why you kick yourself? Huh?
I think he lost signal. You know, that's
Maybe
two things. That's two things that are bad about the Philippines, Honeycomb. Two things. Two
the
things that are
signal.
bad internet and brownouts. And that's two things bad about the Philippines. I haven't had a brownout in Thailand since I've been in Thailand. I hadn't had brownouts in Vietnam. I'll find out about the brownouts firsthand, March the 1st. I'll be landing at Naya. Anybody's got a beef with me, they can show up at Naya and we'll do it right there.
Ernest and Manakit. You drank last night, Ernest? Oh my gosh.
Only last night?
Yeah,
Oh my
Ernest.
God. Oh my
Little
God.
night, Ernest. Mega love
Yes.
shout out victory.
There he is. B for victory.
Well, I didn't lose my signal. I have a very stable signal here, and it's about 500 mbs. But I just wanted to play my song.
Okay.
But I have a question for you. Where's Honeycoast? Where's your camera? You're the star of the show. Come on. There it is.
Can I show my vagina again?
No, no way.
No, because we might be
Come on, I want to show my vagina again. Come on.
You're little.
My vagina.
Holy
My
moly.
vagina. I got a vagina. I got a vagina. It's winking at you.
Crazy.
All right, so I just want to make sure. I want to ask you a couple questions. We have all these people sending pictures or dick pics, right? That's the thing. Why do you suppose that the most recent one did that to you, Honeyco? What was the purpose?
Purpose?
Yeah.
I have concern about Ara Filipina. What if he did to me and then he did to Ara Filipina?
No, I'm not doubting your concern. I'm asking what was he doing that to you for? Like, what was he hoping to accomplish? Did he expect that you would get excited and ask him to come and meet with him, or what was his goal there?
Talking like about that, just talking about YouTube, and then he called me and then remove T-shirt and everything, and then
I know that's what happened. I'm just asking, why do you think he was doing that? Was he hoping to?
I don't know. Maybe that guy have Down syndrome or etc. Something, you know, you know,
He uses
or
that shotgun. I've never
think
bought to any
maybe
of it.
I think he's just creepy. Just creepy. I got the creep effect the first time I saw him on YouTube, and I got a creep effect from him. You know how you get that biggie, you just get a feeling about somebody that they're creepy because they're like too smiley, too nice, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Mega love shout out to everybody. Let's karaoke, have fun, make bananas. You know, the first time I seen him, man, I just thought this guy's a creep, man. Then I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and then I said, the hell with this guy. I accepted him on Facebook. As soon as this shit happened, block him.
I've
yeah,
often
he was
thought about people who were doing helping channels grow and giving Gcash and all that type of thing. Every time I see anybody doing that, there's a red flag. There's got to be a reason why they're doing that.
You guys used the word red flag. I use the word creep factor. It's the creep factor. You know, like fear factor, it's a creep factor.
Yeah, why they doing that, Biggie?
I've talked to you about that privately before. There's something bizarre about it, and I've known a lot of other people who did it that use that to get in and do these type of things with girls. Now, if you go back to you and me, Honeyco, every time I've sent you money, thousands of dollars, I send it to you privately. I send it to you privately in PayPal. I don't blast it out there for everybody to know. Right?
Right.
There you go. But
When I send her my 99 cents, I want everybody to know I sent my friggin' 99 cents back.
What? Biggie, only Pulubi ako send me 99 cents. Poor.
Hey, wait, but if you tally up, Honeyco, if you tally up all the super chats this month, it's over $7 now for the whole month.
You know what, Honeyco? Where's your camera, Honeyco? What are you hiding for? You're the star.
Star for the night.
You are the star of the show. There we go. We don't want to see.
She doesn't like being on camera alone. That's what.
She's not alone. She's with you. You're up there with her. But honestly, like you and I have talked about this privately many times. There's something very strange about this. And all of a sudden you're giving the 99 cents and you're helping out. And now you're calling everybody my brother and sister. Oh, this is my sister, Deborah Orat. And now your boyfriend, girlfriend, and yet you'll never get on an airplane. It's all bullshit. It's just, it's pathetic. Having been in these countries for so many years, I can tell you that's not how the game is played in real life. By the way, Honeyco,
yeah, well,
Mick Fisher, I met him last night, and he was a really great guy. Just to state that publicly, Mick Fisher is very cool. Thank you, Captain. But
like I heard you on another chat saying somebody was asking about me, and you said I don't think Philip's looking for a one-night stand or a girlfriend right now. And that was a true statement because I'm not. I'm just out having fun.
You have a different motive, but most of these people that come to the Philippines or Thailand, they're having sex the first night they meet the people, right? This is no mystery. So I don't understand if you're trying to be the good Samaritan of YouTube and you're going to give people cash back, you're going to help small channels grow when your channel only has 10 people watching at a time. There has to be some other motive beyond just being a nice guy. And
the motive is they're trying to get gullible people to like them more. Okay, and so they donate, and then you start charities, and you get charities going. And even if people suck when they're singing, you don't say you suck. You go, oh, good job, karaoke. That was great the way you did that, blah, blah, blah. Because you want them to come back to have more subscribers. And so they'll come up and sing, and so you can do your promotions, and so you can get charities for the typhoon in Cebu. And then who hell knows what you're doing with that money? Nobody knows what you're doing.
At the end of the day, sexual motives end up being the real motive. And I've always felt that way. Now, there are different people like Pennsylvania Trucker, who is just a very generous person, and he's helped a lot of people out. And he's not doing it to get it in with anybody. He's just doing it because he's generous, and you don't know about it most of the time. But when people are very blatant and open and trying to do that, there is a motive. And I think it's a sexual motive always.
Well, now you mentioned
a long time ago.
You mentioned PA Trucker, who's in the chat, by the way. Hello, PA Trucker. Also, Balut John Baker, man, he's donates, and he just does it from his heart because he wants to. He'll donate to a bunch of channels. He gives Big Kev the most because he actually had a meetup like I did with Big Kev, but I've seen them throw pinkies at people before, you know. Boom, throw a pinky up there. You know?
Right. And I think that we admire when people do that. And they're good-hearted people out there. But there's a difference between that and always having an angle to try to get in with girls. I mean, it seems obvious to me. Now, the ones that are the 99-cent version, I can't believe any of the girls fall for that because
I hope they don't.
they need a little more than 99 cents. That's
That Philip Janek, send me 99 cents.
I can't right now because I'm premiered. I think I overshot my Google Play limit.
$20. So 99 cents is a little too cheap for her.
I think I'm up to $7 and some change for the month. You know, I think I'm over my Google Play limit.
Oh, Pinky. I want Pinkies of Benjamin.
Hey man, that's Johnny Code. That's 2 packs of cigarettes I donated to you this month. Damn, that's 3 packs of cigarettes.
I don't have change for 20. So what about that, Captain?
I need people to send me money so I can get back home. I'm stuck in Southeast Asia, man. I can't get back like Kinjamin. You know, advice. I wish he'd be here right now. He can go back the way that I'm going to do if I don't like the Philippines. Go via Dubai. That's only $156. I think they have that fare, Biggie, because of all the OFWs. I mean, because you go anywhere else and it's like $500, but you go to Dubai from Manila and Cebu Pacific, it's only $156. And then you can fly from Dubai to Turkey for like 120. So if you add it together, that's like 270. You get yourself a Euro pass.
Any plane you take from the Philippines to the Middle East is all OFWs. I mean,
yeah, but I mean that route to Dubai though, for some reason, it's the cheapest for Cebu Pacific.
Cebu Pacific's a stripped down airline. If you go on Emirates or even Philippine Airlines, a full service airline, it's going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, but everywhere else they go, like for me to go to Vietnam to Manila on Cebu Pacific is more than if I fly from Manila to Dubai, you know, and then you just stay there and you get one of those cheap ass Pegasus flights or something to Istanbul, and then get yourself a Euro pass and you can go across Europe for the last month, you know. The last month, nah.
Good job, Captain.
Thank you, Captain. Oh, I have commercial for Captain Village. Sorry for interrupt.
No problem.
Yeah, I heard what you were saying. He was on a chat. He was on a chat.
Stuck?
But no. He was on a chat and he was just saying that he's got to make up his mind if he's going now or later, because he doesn't want to spend $1,000 or $1,100 to fly back to Norway because the plane ticket shot up. Well, just go to Dubai, jump to Istanbul, and get on a train, go to Norway. You know what the hell?
But guys, donut rain, matching simping pan.
Or once you get to Europe, I was checking out all those flights in Europe on them low like Scoot type airlines, like that Turkish airline Pegasus. You can fly from Istanbul to Paris for like $29, man.
You always can find the deals that none of us can find.
I just go on Google Flights, man. What the hell? You go. Pretty soon they're going to quit. Google Flights is going to quit. But I just go look them up on Google Flights and look the date. So you don't want to plan too far ahead, because then you lose out if you change your plans. You don't have no refund ticket or nothing, and you don't book no extra baggage, you know. And you just go. Like when I got that flight to Japan to Vietnam, you know, from O'Hare, it was at 408. I said, it's not going to go cheaper than that. Boom! I pushed the button, man. You know, that's what you got to do.
The Philippines?
That's going to be okay. I'm going to Vietnam the 31st.
Okay.
I got all my documents for Vietnam again. Okay, then on March the 1st, I will have a flight at 1:25 a.m., which is like in the morning, right? So I got to leave the hotel early, but I'll get to the airport and I'll fly out at 1:25 a.m. on Cebu Pacific to Manila, you know. and I had the itinerary planned out for this month. I just switched it a month back. I'm going to go. How bad is Pasay City? Is that a dump or what? Because it's supposed to be close to BGC and stuff. You know,
No,
I've never.
well, that's Mall of Asia's in Pasay, and the airport, half of it is in Pasay. And
Okay, because I found a cheap. I found a cheap hotel, not a hostel, but I found a cheap hotel in Pasay. I found a cheap hotel in Barrio Beretta that's nice. So I figure I'll stay in Manila for a week. I go to Barrio Beretta, then I'll come back and I'll fly down to Davao, and then I'll work my way back up north. If I
where are
like
you
it,
staying
I'll buy
in
more.
Pasay?
At a Red Doors,
Red Doors. Ooh, I know that
2-star
place.
hotel.
I know
2-star
that
hotel.
place.
Is it a dump?
No, it's not great. I stayed there one time in between flights. I had like 8 hours. I went and did a quick layover type of thing.
Well, I mean, for a week, you know, I'm only going to be there a week, and then I'm going to go to Barrio Barreto. And I guess where I'm going to stay at there, at a Red Doors, right by the bus station, because the bus going back and forth, right? You know,
Well, did
if I
you
change
book?
my,
Did you book
if I-
yet?
no, I didn't book nothing yet. I just use booking.
You know what might be a good place to look at is the Heritage Hotel. That used to be a 5-star hotel. It's now 4-star. It's walking distance to Mall of Asia, walking distance to MRT and LRT. It's right in the middle of everything.
Well, I was going to stay originally. I was going to stay at the Z Hostel
Per night,
because
Biggie.
it's clean and it's a backpacker party hostel, right? But they raised their freaking prices so much, man. It's like more than a hotel room for the week to stay there, man. I
How
mean,
much
that's right. That's like a block away from the filling station. That's right by what Poblacion area there.
You know,
Like
I
that
think
T
it's
Burger.
about $60 or $70 a night, if I remember right. I'll
Well,
look it up.
I'm talking about that the Z Hostel, man. When I first checked it out for 30 days, because I was gonna stay originally 30 days in Manila. Shit, they were wanting like almost $600 for a month to stay in a freaking hostel, man. They're out of their minds, you know. They're trying to recoup all that money that they lost during COVID, is what it is.
I haven't ever stayed in a hostel in Philippines. Not yet. So
I'm staying in a hostel.
Heritage Hotel is
Biggie.
$2,500 a night. About $65 a night.
Well, I could have went to Ho Chi Minh City and stayed in Ho Chi Minh when I go to Vietnam. They had a deal on booking. It was like half off on the price of the hotel, man. It's right there by that park by the Burger King. Okay, and it's like really nice hotel. I could have stayed there for the whole month for like $480. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go up to Dalat. I'm going to be cheap about it. I'm only going to spend $150 for rent, and I'll spend like $5-10 a day for food, and I'll save like more than half of a pension check, so that when I go fly out of there on the first, basically that's what I do. I go to Vietnam and on the cheap since the first time I went there and did the 5-star lifestyle. You know,
Hi,
I've been
kid.
going.
We're gonna
But that hospital up in the mountains, that place is great, man. The Red House, it's a nice place, man. You can get rooms there if you want a room, but fuck, what's the difference? You got 4 beds in a room. It says 6 beds, but it's only 4 beds. You got 4 beds in the room. You got some Vietnamese chick sleeping in the bunk above you. What the hell?
Mobster.
You got hot showers right across the hall. So just put a towel around you and walk from the bed to the fucking shower room.
Right.
I did in the Army without any women being in the barracks, right?
Well, whatever you're
Okay.
comfortable with.
Well, that last one I stayed in Saigon, that place I put on the booking on the reviews. I said I wouldn't send my dog to this freaking place, man. That's where that kid sprayed me in the face with the damn disinfectant by accident, which gave me sinusitis, which I had to take fucking antibiotics for. But yeah, I got my insurance extended and everything, Biggie. I'm good till I don't have to redo anything till March the 25th now.
It's good. Seems like Vietnam is your country of choice so far.
Well, what it is, Biggie, I'll tell you, Dalat is just, if you Google tonight when you get a chance, Google the temperature in Baguio, then Google the temperature in Dalat. It will be exactly the same temperature or 1 degree difference. It's exactly like Baguio. You know, they got the pine trees, they got the flower gardens, they got the strawberries, they got the big lake there. It's really nice, it's beautiful. but you can smoke wherever the hell you want to. In Baguio, that city ban on smoking, that really pissed me off.
Don't like to go there because you don't smoke there, Philip, yeah?
That's right. If I can't go to a coffee shop and sit and look at women and smoke my cigarettes and drink coffee, then I don't want to go there. Aye, Nicole.
We
Nako.
just went to Baguio recently, but I like Cebu better. I like to be in the water. I have a swimming pool and I live just steps from the beach, and it's like I would be in the water every day if I could, and you couldn't do that.
Well,
in
now,
Baguio.
now that I stayed in Thailand, Biggie, let me tell you, like right now, the temperature is perfect out. It's nighttime. It's probably about 75 degrees out. There's a wind. There's a breeze. If there's a breeze, it's all good. I don't even need a fan on. I can just open up the screen, sliding door, and have the screen door shut and sleep without a fan or anything. No air, no nothing. I've been doing it, man, acclimating to the heat. So when I come north from Davao, I am going to stop around Dumaguete and Valencia, and to see if I can find a place like away from Dumaguete. I don't want to be in Dumaguete proper, but near there, because you got all your city stuff there, and find me a place near there. And if I find a place I like, I'll buy a motorbike and I'll stay. If I don't find a place I like, then shit, I'm coming back to the United States, driving my car down to Mexico after I throw about $2,000 into it because they don't know how to start a fucking car.
I like the Malibu All Tours.
Well,
Malibu
Mobo's more like a little tourist, like a diving town, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's a free tour, Manak 8. Mall Bohol tour with someone. Free tour.
yes, I do, Captain Billy, and it's rented out because we rent that out, and it's $60K a month, and then we live in our house, and we have a farm also in the west coast of Cebu.
Shit, that's my budget when I get there. 60K. I mean, that's what I
60K a
want
month.
to make. That's what that's not what my pension check is, but that's
Well,
what I want to make my budget.
Well,
I
you
wanna
can
save
rent,
money.
you can rent the condo, and then you can't eat, but you at least be able to pay the rent.
Well, I eat out every day most of the time.
You wouldn't be able to if you had to pay $60,000 a month for your condo.
Well, I'm not going to pay 60. I said that's my budget for the whole friggin' month.
Impress Honeyco. Tell her that you're
Wow.
gonna pay big money for the condo. She'll be
No, but
impressed.
I tell you
And
what,
then
Biggie, I was
you
talking.
can send her a pic of
Yeah.
your wee wee.
Do you know Eminem's journey? She changed her channel to M Filipino, the one that's supposed to have that Canadian boyfriend, Mark Richards, that hasn't been there for like 2-3 years. Right? I was talking with her in her chat, and she said there's a property up in Valencia. It's like a coconut plantation, and 3.5 hectares, right? For like what, 8,000 USD? That's cheap, man.
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff we got, I mean, the prices were much cheaper. They really escalated in the last 6 years or so. I mean,
Well, no,
some of
but what is 400,000? 400,000 is like what, $8,000, right?
yeah, about that.
Yeah, so you get 3.5 hectares. That's a big area of coconut shit, right? So what you do is you buy that place. Okay, you get a Filipino to buy it, right? Okay, and you buy one of those prefab Bahay Kubas, the ones that got the double walls with the screen inside the walls, the nice ones you can put a kitchen in and all that shit. Put a slab there, set up the Bahay Kuba because it's right on the road, right? And you sell off half of the land, you cut it into two 1.75 properties, right? Instead of 3.5, right? You cut
Why,
it into
Philip?
2.1. You sell the other half, and then you tell her family, your family works the plantation. They don't get any of my money. I'm not giving them any friggin' money. Let them work this property. That's their money. And you just live in the Bahay Kuba.
And as soon as you did all that, they say, "Goodbye, Philip Janik. We don't need you anymore."
Doesn't matter.
And you
Yo,
spend your
Doesn't matter.
$8,000 nothing.
Well, the whole thing is I wouldn't, I'm not stupid. Like you can only be scammed if you want to be scammed. I'm not stupid.
I
Yeah,
agree
I
with
would.
that statement. No Filipina ever scammed me because anytime I paid anything, I did it my own choice.
Well,
It's
here
not.
I'll
No,
explain it. I'll explain it to you, Biggie. This is the way I would do it. Okay, I would hook up with the Filipina and I would say, you get a loan from the bank to buy this property. Okay, I'm going to be your backer. Okay, so you get a loan to buy this property, and your equity, when they give you the loan, is that you're with me, so they know that I can pay that, right? And we're going to do. I'm not going to pay cash for it. We're going to do it in installments, right? Okay, so you put half down, so you're only putting 4,000 investment, which means they need you because if you're not there, they got to make that friggin' payment, right? Okay, you get married to her, right? Okay. And if she fucks you over, you just leave, and I'll get $1,000 a month extra by leaving her there. As long as I don't knock her up. I mean, I don't think there's any alimony in the Philippines, is there?
there can be, but the
No,
problem, the little wrinkle in your theory is that girl has to be working to get that loan. Peggy
it doesn't
B
matter.
gives loans. They'll only do it to a working person. Now, the person who
Well, I can always say that she's working for me. She's
no,
my caregiver.
that doesn't work that way. Peggy B, which gives all the home loans, they only do it if you have a real job, and you have to qualify for whatever you're going to finance. So if somebody made a good enough income to be able to qualify for a bank loan here, they probably wouldn't need you, and it would blow up in your face.
No, you don't get what I'm talking about. See, if I marry her, then my income is our income, right?
I get
Okay,
exactly what you
but I
mean.
have her get the loan. That way they can't dispose of me, right? Okay, because they need me, right? And then you got to do it in payments. If you pay it off all at once, they don't need you anymore, right? I know what you're getting at. If it's paid off, they don't need you.
You have to, if you finance $1 million, let's say, or 2 million, or 5 million, or any amount.
It's 400. It's 400,000. There we go. 400,000. You buy the Bahay Kubo, because you can move that. The Bahay Kubo you can move.
And you think you're gonna live with that and entice a woman to go get a bank loan to live like that?
I think
Yeah, because
no.
her family's going to have property to work. 1.75 hectares of coconuts to harvest, and grow whatever else they want.
All right. When you've successfully done that, you let me know, and I will go visit you and bring
Well, I
champagne.
got two choices. I can either do that or I can hook up with Gigante's sister-in-law. He's been trying to fix me up with his sister. He's been trying to fix me up with his sister-in-law for the past 2 years, and he's got a big compound there.
I fixed up Mick Fisher with Lucy Liu last night. They were getting real sweet with each other.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That was
That
the one
Who
that
you fix him up with?
for Kevin. Lucy Liu, one of the girls on my group.
Oh, your harem? Your harem?
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna all go swimming in a couple of days, and who knows? It looks good so far.
Make sure you videotape the skinny dipping so we can send it to Honeycomb. Right?
I will. I'll put like a little beach ball in front of the skinny dip sights and sounds.
Have them wear little fig leaves.
Yes, big.
I never thought. Do they grow figs in Philippines or no?
No, that's what I've seen. Yes, I do have my dating service now, and any expat that's looking, let me know. I'll hook you up.
Well, I'm not looking. If it happens, it happens.
Free of charge.
I know that I can get a studio type condo with a pool and shit between Dumaguete and Valencia for about $20,000 a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're willing to go in a studio, you can definitely, especially in a province, it's not that expensive. It's only expensive in Cebu City.
I'm talking on that road. I'm talking about that road between Duma and Valencia. Halfway up, there's like a bunch of condos and shit. And
I
if I'm
don't-
spending 20,000 on rent, that's 1/3 of what my budget's gonna be. So I figure I'm 40,000 by myself, since I don't have a woman leeching off of me. I can
Big difference.
smoke and drink my coffees and go out to eat. And I think I'm 40,000. I think 40,000 would do it.
if you
And
oh,
500.
your budget's 60, then
Yeah,
it's
man,
only
okay.
1/3. I mean, it's a pretty good, pretty doable. Live a pretty good
Well, I mean,
life.
you're not supposed to do more than 1/4 for your rent, but I mean, so 15,000 would be ideal, but
Oh, you can find that in a province. If you go to Leyte, you can find it all day long.
No, I'm talking about near Dumas someplace.
Dumagetti sucks, man. Why would you want to go there?
Well, because
Biggest-
it's near a city, and from what I
Come again?
understand, up in the mountains there, it's a little cooler.
It's
See,
cooler,
so-
but as soon as you go down the mountain, you're in Dumagetti, which is a real shithole. There's nothing to do in Valencia. It's just houses, right? So you go down into everything is down in Dumagetti.
Yeah,
I
but
would-
I could play guitar with the other expats. I heard there's a bar there where they play music and shit. I could show off, play my guitar in the bars.
I've been there many times. I would never want to live there.
Did you hear the rumor? Or it's not really rumor; it's news. Rike's back in the Philippines, right?
Yes, I heard he was hooking up with another 17-year-old, teaching her the
Well,
best.
I just heard today that he is back in the Philippines. The frog.
I heard
The frog
that.
is back.
Captain Billy says Darren is looking for. No, Lucy, it was Kevin's girl. But you know what happens, man? You snooze, you lose. You got to take advantage of it when you're there. Just like when I was in Jeddah, I went and met Honeyco. You take advantage of it when the time is there. You go for it. If you wait, if you delay, you lose.
That's who I should try to hook up with, man. I should try to hook up with that M that's got that Canadian boyfriend that doesn't never go there anymore. No, she changed her channel from M&M just to M. She's staying in the studio. It's only $4K a month, man, in Dumagetti. It's a dump, but it's only $4K a month.
Oh yeah, but
Philip, you need to try
Wouldn't
to
wanna
live
that.
then
Maybe. Yeah, Mike Whitcomb. The guy is just a goofball. I mean, I hate to talk negative about people, but why would any rational person want to follow the footsteps of a guy that's failed at every relationship he's ever had in his life?
Maybe that's where Darren disappeared to. Maybe he met Rike and he's running around with Rike.
Yeah, I
Why?
thought big Darren Dobson in Cebu. What happened?
Well, I think all this stuff happened, and he's hiding from it. I had offered to meet him many months ago, but
Yeah, you tell me you met him, right? So, okay.
But I don't do that dick pic thing. I mean, you know that. You know me for a long time. I don't send pictures and videos. I get down in Funky Town, man, with the real deal.
Get down and Funky Town. Let's
yeah.
get down and Funky Town.
Why would I waste my time? I mean, what on earth would you want to
I
send dick
heard
pics for?
in Cebu by the girl was he offered the condo in Cebu. Maybe it's for free.
Why don't-
Maybe I need
I
a
don't-
sugar mama.
Why a
Golden
woman
sugar.
would want that? Why would a woman want to send tickets and everything? That must be an act of desperation. Once you meet all these people in real life, there's no mystery. They're just regular people, There's nothing special. Filipinos
creepy.
think that it's a Cano and he's got blue eyes. Big fucking
Cano.
deal. Everybody in my family's a Cano with blue eyes. That doesn't mean anything to us.
No, he's creepy. Creepy Darren. From now on, that's what he is to me. Creepy.
No.
I'd always thought that
They like
I always
blue
thought he was
eyes,
a nice guy, though.
the
always
spirit
seemed nice.
look husband.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, if you lived in the Philippines, Honeyco, you couldn't get a job because you're already over 35 and there's age discrimination. So if you're not an OFW and you don't have a white collar job, now you have to resort to looking to be rescued from a man.
There you go. Bangkok by night. Do, 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 with the sign that changes colors. Boom, 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 boom.
Do you think someone have?
Bangkok
No,
at night.
picture, guys. It's not a picture. Clarification, guys. It's not a picture. Calling me on Messenger. It's not a picture. Virtual. I saw it.
And the real reason why she's upset is Honeyco likes big cocks. She doesn't want little kumquats, okay, little pinkies.
Yeah,
I
if it
saw
would have been big, there might not be no controversy right now, right?
it's a virtual. Simply vlog. It's a virtual. Not sending pic or etc. No. A
No,
virtual.
there's no excuse. He's creepy. That's all there's to it. Creepy.
Made love 36 minutes on the street.
I gotta stick it. I gotta stick it in, Honeyco. Wait a minute. Ooh, I just stuck it in. Okay, it's working. Gotta charge.
He was doing virtual video.
Yeah, a video
Yep.
chat, video call.
Video call like that.
What did you do when it happened? Did you say something?
No, I'm shy because we are not boyfriend and girlfriend, Big E. So why you showing your little junk on me?
Now, Mick told me he had a girlfriend. I don't want to like say anything. I don't want to create a rumor here.
Mentioning. No,
But
that time, Big E. That time she's boyfriend and girlfriend with that girl, and then why you showing your little junk even you have a relationship with someone?
yeah. Maybe he's a
I
swinger
feel,
like me.
I feel sorry for Joe. Joe has to live in the same town that he's in when he gets back. You know?
Well, did he apologize?
No.
Didn't you hear what I said when we first came on? I said the best thing he could do is come up, say that he did, admit that he did it, apologize, say he's sorry, he's not going to do it again, because he should apologize to J. Mike's wife because he was grinding against her best friend and groping her. You know, J. Mike came out and stated that it happened at that party. So he should just come up and say he did it, that I'm a creep, and I'm not going to be a creep anymore. That's the best thing. Get it all behind him and admit it, get it over with.
Knocked out. Yeah, cool.
This part.
Internet Monster, did the hookers in Thailand charge you more because you were bald on top too, or no? I saw you with Ricky Drama. He was with you at Kosan. I saw that video. Did Ricky get the hernia because he was with a lady boy and the lady boy's junk was too big and he couldn't handle it and he gave him a hernia, or what?
That's it, Mike. That's it. Swear that's the way.
That's true, Ernest.
I don't know.
Probably should
I don't know.
let it blow
I don't
over.
know. I don't know, Big E. You know, can you get a hernia from taking it up the butt or what? You know?
I don't know. I haven't tried that, but maybe you can experiment with it and let me know.
Well, no, he's in the hospital because he's got a hernia, right? So he was hanging out with all them lady boys. I'm thinking maybe that's how he got the hernia.
Do you remember your famous song that you came up with?
Mentally challenged.
Yeah. Ricky, the trans living clown. If you swap and spit with him, he'll never let you down.
Good job.
I like my new one better. I'm so sad, I'm so lonely. I have to show the Filipinos my mini baloney. Won't you come and send a plane ticket for me? Everybody needs somebody to cream on. Everybody wants somebody to grind on. There you go.
Very
Yeah.
good. I think Aztec, part of the answer to that is that he has a girlfriend locally, a physical girlfriend, and yet he's doing this to Filipinas online without their consent, just suddenly showing. And so it's wrong, I guess, and inappropriate.
Well, all I can tell you, Big E, is he visited Cher at the Artist Pencil, and after I posted that short, she texted me on Messenger, and she said, "Is this true? Did this really happen?" I said, "Do you think I'd put something out there like that if it didn't really happen?" You know, and she said, "Oh, okay." She was acting all apologetic and shit. And then the next day, she was on J Mike's stream, sticking up for him again until J Mike. So I guess she didn't believe me. So she got on J Mike's, and he told her about him messing with his wife's best friend at the party. And then she apologized and asked if she could come up on the stream. So I mean, I guess my word's no good. My word means shit. There you go. Philip Janik's word doesn't mean shit.
Turn us into the songwriter.
Jeff Lynne from
From the ELO. He was writing songs. He was writing songs for the Wilburys, and he was in the Wilburys.
Yeah,
he was
I know.
writing songs for
Surprised
Tom
if
Petty.
he just got inducted. That's surprising because he should have been inducted a long time ago.
Yeah, that's why I was playing their songs today, and I came up with them lyrics to when I was playing their songs. Tom Petty and him, you know.
You're not born butterfly, just enjoy in the chat and listening.
No one knows how it feels. No one knows how it feels to be me. Boom, boom, boom. My pants come up and down. I flash Filipinas like a clown. Boom, boom. Do-do-dum-dum. Ba-da-dum-boom. Do-do-dum-dum. I fly to the Philippines to grind and grope a little penny. Boom, ba-da-dum, boom. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. Darren Dobson, boom, 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 boom. Darren Dobson looks like a crazy creep. Darren Dobson looks like a clown. Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
I think that's a very good mute or boot this sphincter boy.
And then you know what? Biggie.
Everything in the Thailand community is boring as hell too. What's that?
Brett Blyso.
Brett.
Depends.
Yeah, I got a new word I added to my vocabulary, Biggie. It's called maniac. Maniac. Because Honeyco doesn't say maniac, she says maniac, right? So that's a new word. When I go to Philippines, that's Filipina for maniac. Maniac.
Yeah, maniac.
Maniac.
Oh, what about him, Honeyco?
Who? It depends. It depends on Darren. He said, Brett Blyso, I said, "Oh, Honeyco making drama." Okay.
Well, he's doing the same type of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know,
well, from what I heard from Joe, not from Honeyco, but from Joe, I heard that he had like 6 or 7 Pinays that he was chatting with and doing this stuff with, man. So not just those 2, but 6 or 7 more. You know?
Hung like a horse. I heard that he was hung like a kumquat.
Like a horse? You know the size, butter?
Honeyco said 4 inches. Honeyco said 4 inches.
Got the pinky up.
And then you said like a horse? Oh, no.
Not even a miniature pony.
I think the problem more, I mean, of course it's rude to do it. It's disrespectful, but I think the big issue is he has a girlfriend that he lives with or that he's there with. And then he's
Yeah,
doing
that's
8 other Filipinas behind her back. So it's kind of like cheating as well as being rude and inappropriate. And then why is he going to Cebu to meet girls if he has a girlfriend in Toronto? That's
Well,
there's a lot of weird.
is this true? Is this true or not? You're there, so you'll know. Did he go down to meet up with Vicky and Mobile?
Well, I hope
and then
not. Vicky's married, but
Well,
I
that's
think-
what I understand. You know,
I don't know the answer to that, but I know that if he was coming to Cebu to meet people, but he's got a girlfriend back home, that's problematic. Because if they had an open relationship or they were swingers, that would be one thing. But the girl back home doesn't know about the exploits that he was having both online and in person. So that's the real issue. And the rudeness of sending it without being asked, or not sending it, but showing it. But I would talk to the guy. I mean, I would love for him to come up, and I would talk to him and meet him. I wouldn't treat him like, I mean, I would just ask him, why are you doing that? You know?
creepy the clown.
That's creepy.
Creepy. I just got that creep factor the first time I saw him, man. You know, taking the glasses off and putting his eyes right in the camera, like, oh, look at my beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah, some desperate woman. Oh, I like blue eyes. Looking for husband. Oh my God. Poor.
Hashtag, I'll come back when we're not talking about some guy's dick every day. Well, Honeyco says that Darren is the topic for the month. She says she's going to
I
continue.
thought it's a topic call of the month, so
Yep, she said she's going to do it for the whole month. So that's up to Honeyco. This is her channel. She can do what she wants.
oh yeah. Don't say no, don't do that.
See, as you can hear there, Biggie, I don't have the air conditioner now. I just have the screen door open. No,
So do
no
I.
fan.
It's only 75 degrees here.
Eh,
So I am acclimating to the heat.
House.
Mick, are you dating me with Lucy?
Possibly.
You gave Big Kev's girlfriend the Mick?
Hey, you know what? Possession is 9/10 of the law, right?
Wow, Big Kev was here earlier. He would hate to hear that. Is it
Gotta
working
be
now?
here to reap the rewards.
Butterfly effect seems like a witch hunt. There's no witch hunt. We're just outing a creepo. You know?
I would love to. I think Darren should come up and then let somebody who's not emotionally charged up question him about it, and then let him get a chance to put it to rest.
Well, Faye says, she says, I will talk to him privately and will convince to ask apology. Yeah, he should come up on Honey Goes, admit that he did it instead of saying everybody's lying about him. Just admit it, you know, apologize for it. Say, I won't do it again. I'm going to stop being a creep. You know what I mean? And that's it. Then it'll be over. It'll be behind him. We all know he did a creepy thing and it's done with, you know. But telling, oh, everybody's telling lies on me. It didn't happen. Blah, 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 you know?
Mike Whitcomb says half of HK's content is about bananas. Is it only half? I thought it was about 90%, Mike. Cycles the show about every 3 weeks.
She's got a notebook, so she can look at the notebook and tell you how many percent is about. You know. Well, so far, Faye, I don't think he's learned because he's not admitting that he did it, and he didn't apologize to J. Mike's wife yet. You know, that was her best friend that he was groping and grinding on. Supposedly, he had a boner that he was pushing up against her while he was dancing. You know, so that's not a good thing. I mean, you're in your 50s, you dance and you get a boner. Come on, man.
Is that true? I mean, did J. Mike actually say that?
Yeah, he came on. Go to his stream and rewatch it. He's right there saying, you know, he's a friend of mine, but at the party, and Cher's the one that took him to, was like his escort to that party. Cher, the pencil artist, right? She was in the living room doing karaoke, had like a double cam going, and they opened theirs full screen when it was on the side of the houses where it happened. They were dancing, and the woman broke away from him, came to J. Mike and slapped him and punched him and said, "Why didn't you protect me from him?" You know? So he's gonna, what's he gonna use the excuse? I was too drunk. Well, why do you got a boner when you're dancing and you're grinding into the chick's crotch? You know, jeez. I mean that's the way J. Mike explained it. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Mick,
but yet he says he's breaking ties with him as far as live streaming. But he says he's still his friend. And if you go into the information, how they put people's channels and information, like on Global, they got Honey Coast there and all that stuff. He still has Darren Dobson's link there in the information. He needs to get that off of there if he's going to stop collaborating with him.
Mick Fisher is now been hired as my bodyguard, and he's going to be filing cases on my behalf. And now that you've been exposed, Mick Fisher, why don't you come up? Open your cam and show them you know, Mick's a great guy, actually. One of the great guys I met of all the people I met on YouTube. So
Hi, JHK.
JHK, don't show us your dong, please.
No, I'm not gonna do that. How you
Junkies.
doing, bro?
All right, man. All right, I did an easy day today. I didn't go spend 6,000 baht and shit. I think I spent a grand total of probably about 300 baht today. That was it.
300 baht in one day?
That's about it. Yeah. What, pack of cigarettes, 2-liter Diet Coke, some dry ass noodles, and some food that I bought at the 7-Eleven. That's about it.
That's cheap as fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had stuff left over that I bought before, so I mean, you know, every day is different. You know, you spend a little bit here, spend a little bit there. You know? But I didn't hit like 3 restaurants like I did yesterday. You know,
I had some day, you know, like I go out with 10,000 baht and I wake up with like 200 baht in the pocket. You know,
that can happen to you very easily if you lose the plot, right?
Yeah, you're right. Simply Black. That's why he think.
is that Billy on the panel?
That's Big E.
That Big E.
God, I'm Captain Billy Jack.
Captain Billy Jack.
Your
No,
voice, your voice, bro, it's very like affirmative. Like you speak like a boss, you know, like your voice is very like confident.
I am a boss. I have 260 employees that work under me. Last time you told me I was Mike Chef. Make up your mind.
But I don't know about the drama, you know. I just come to enjoy. I don't go to Discords. I don't care what people talk shit. I just come for fun.
Yeah, but you used to like to talk shit and fun too, though, right?
Yeah, but I'm joking around, you know. Like, I'm a drunk asshole. I can tell you, like, okay, you're a monger, you're an asshole. Barry is a fat cunt. But I'm not gonna hunt someone down or be rude, you know.
Everybody can call me whatever the hell they want. I don't care as long as they don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, but like, you know, I never attack someone hard, you know, like I never go after someone or make bullshit.
Oh, like the guys on Ben's chat.
I wish they were all working under me that way, man, Kate. I can only wish. But almost all of them are men. I only have a few females.
How many accounts do you have, Billy?
What's this butterfly effect? Why can Bella do it and not DD? Who says Bella's flashing people, man?
Well, would you have the same level of anger if it was a woman flashing a man?
Well, now, especially if the guy's asking to be flashed.
No, let's say a Filipina was just suddenly went naked on the cam. without asking, without the man asking, would you be just as enraged?
I'll tell you what I would do. I would end the chat immediately
The
because
answer is no.
I wouldn't want to reverse the cam and get me in there and try to start some drama with me. You know?
But you wouldn't make a big deal about it if a woman did that.
No, I wouldn't. No.
See, there's a double standard. That's what I think the person's saying to you about
Yeah,
Bella.
but that's still.
But I thought Darren was married.
No.
He's
Still
divorced. He's divorced.
intimidated,
Now we
Nick
know why.
Fisher. I'm a little fuzzball. You know that.
From what I understand, he's divorced, so we know why he got divorced, right? Because he's
No,
a
but why?
creepy,
So, Philip,
creepy horn dog.
why wouldn't you be outraged if it was a woman doing it?
Well, let's put it this way: if it was a woman doing it to me, I don't care about pics. Pics don't turn me on anyway, right? You know, pics,
Video
videos.
call.
I'm immune to that shit, man. I was editing porn videos years ago, man. I'm immune to that shit, man. But it would make me pissed off where I would block them. I would. I had a girl that was texting me from what's that, Pangilisalan or whatever that city is outside of Manila, and she had a creepy name, like a weird, like spelled in Chinese with letters and shit. And I was at the club, and she's texting me and talking to me in the club, right, with the text on Messenger. And she said, "But I want to see you." And I go, what do you want to see? I said, "You can't hear shit. There's music pumping and stuff, right? But I want to see you." And she came on cam. And so I went on cam, and she said, I waved her. I got up, and then she went away, you know. But I ended up, because she kept bugging the shit on me. Like every 10 minutes, she'd start to text me, man. I would just I just blocked her. Finally, I blocked her, man.
Because she was bugging the shit out of you. But let's say it was somebody you were doing a show with for 6 months or a year, like he did with Honeyco, and you're talking to her on a video chat, and all of a sudden she comes in, she flashes. Would you be?
I would be shocked.
You'd be shocked. And then what would you do about it?
Shocked.
Would you go on YouTube and?
No. Not if it was a female and she did it for me. I would say, you know, stop. Put your junk back. Put your stuff back. You know, I don't want to be seeing that shit. No, just don't do it. Just don't do it. You want to be friends? You want to continue to be friends? Don't do that shit. You know?
I have a different. I have the opposite view. I say flash away.
But see, you like that shit. I'm not into that. It doesn't
Kodak
turn me on.
camera with a flash bulb. Let it
Did you
flash.
do? Wait,
I
guys.
agree with you, Billy. I think, like, you know, like if you're with someone, like you like someone and you with her, or like in some way you make an agreement. Okay, fine. It's all good, you know. You can do it, but don't like hang it out before you ask, you know.
Yeah, you could, but see, even if I was in a relationship, which I never have been, and I probably never will online, I still wouldn't flash my junk on a messenger. Because what if the girl gets mad at you? Okay, she gets mad at you and she's gonna post shit on Pornhub or something to you jerking off and stuff.
That's
Come
a
on.
different question. If the woman is, whether you should do it, I would never do it. But if the woman decided to do it and showed you out of the blue, don't tell me you're going to be mad about that, because I'm going to check your man.
If it's just a friendship, and they're coming onto me like that, yeah, I would be mad about it.
Haniko, do you hate Darren Dobson now, or you just want to make some drama?
She's muting it because of the prayer time. She said before you came on that she wants to protect other Filipinas from being played that way. That's why she's doing this.
Yeah. She doesn't want other Filipinas to become victims of his scammy, creepy shit, is what it is. That's why she's doing this. Not because, I mean, she was shocked. She's not mad at him. She just wants to get it out there that he did it, and, you know, be careful because he's a creep.
Yeah, that's why Philip received tons of messages or screenshot from other women. So, you know, it's shocking.
Yeah,
And supposedly,
Saudi Arabia, so she mutes it when they have the prayer going on.
And supposedly Joe took him to a couple of her like VIP occasion thingies, like, you know, that she goes to and stuff. And then supposedly, I don't know what happened there, if they were, what the deal is behind it, but she was totally shocked too.
What are those things called in English? Like the prayer towers? Like I only know the Swedish term, like minaret.
Mosque,
Like not.
mosque.
Yeah, but like when they is that the same one where they do all the prayer and all the noise at night?
Yeah, mosques. We call them
Alright.
mosque. I think they use the same word. We use their word, mosque.
But I think mosque is like the church, right? Like same as a
It
church.
of us from DD
Yeah,
Expos.
it is.
But there is like a special thing, you know? It's like a high tower that only plays music.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's called a mosque. I think it's something else.
Well, I'm not an expert on the Quran and on Islam, so I don't really know. I'm not an
Yeah,
expert.
same as me, you know, like I know the word in Swedish, but I don't know it in English.
I am an expert. I am an expert on cam shows and porn, though. So Honeyco got the money shot. She got the money shot.
Ay, nako, Philip.
Ay, Nicole, you didn't get the money shot. The money shot would have been as if he was jerking off and squirted it on the screen. That's the money shot.
Well, thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't go that far, right? Yeah. Butterfly, I think maybe he's the nudist. Yeah, well, whatever. He should move to Indiana then. There's a place just south of me. Ernest knows where it's at. What is it? Roseland, Indiana?
There's a bunch of nudist places in California and other places that I know of.
Well, in Indiana, we got it's called Roseland, Indiana.
I would like to see a nudist camp when it's snowing. I'd like to see how they deal with that issue.
Well, they take the snow and they rub it on their nipples and it makes their nipples hard, man. And the guys all run around with fig leaves because of shrinkage, right?
Wow.
George Costanza, man, that's what Darren's gonna say. Well, the reason it was so small is it was shrinkage. It was cold in my apartment. Roseland. See, Ernest knows Roseland. Roseland, Indiana, man. Big nudist colony there.
But Ernest is like the nicest person on YouTube. Like Ernest don't have enemies. Everyone love Ernest.
Yeah, but see, he's from the same area that I'm from and where Billy Jack's from. He's in Florida now, but he's originally from where we're at. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever heard one person say, "I don't like Ernest Connell," or try to threaten him or like do something bad? No way, right?
No, because Ernest is Ernest. He's himself all the time.
Yeah, but he's always the nicest guy, you know?
Yes.
He jokes around too, though. He jokes around.
Yeah, but he never like goes over the line, you know? Never do something bad.
Butterfly effect. Apparently, it's not one silly act. It's an act that is. There was many females that he's doing it to, and they caught him with his phone. All that. That's what they said.
And he screwed up by doing it to Honeyco, and now she's getting it out there that he's a creep, and she wants the Filipinos to know that he's a creep, that all that smiley face and all that laughing and I'm so handsome, look at my blue eyes, make a love shout out, everybody. I'm Darren the Creepo Clown. You know, she's getting it out there.
You know what, Philip? The crazy thing is why you paid the ticket to come to see you for what? For boom boom? For sex?
I don't know. I don't know who paid the ticket. Did Cher pay the ticket? Because if she had money, the only money she could have had extra is if she got it from JLB, from when she was working from JLB back in the day.
Trip on Middle East, Philip.
Who?
Trip on Middle East, Darren. Trip on Middle East.
Yeah, there's a lot more to the story than you guys even know that nobody wants to say, and I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
No, I'm
it's
not
free
going
speech. It's free speech.
Well, there's a lot more to the story, and Honeyco knows the true story. I know the true story, but no one's going to say all of the details because it's pretty.
That's why we're here, Biggie. Free
Yeah,
speech.
it's pretty elaborate.
I want to know the truth.
And there are people that you know that would be hurt if the truth came out completely. So but just don't think it's just out of the blue. Some guy just flashed Honeyco, and then that's a big controversy. There's
just say
many layers to this thing beyond that one act.
Just say you can't handle the truth.
I wouldn't say it because of the, protecting.
Well, I'm just telling you from what my feelings, from what my senses, and I got a pretty good read on people. Okay, he did a charity for the typhoon in Cebu. Wait a minute, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying this is my spider senses, like Spider-Man. Okay, he did a charity thing for the typhoon in Cebu. The woman that was involved in that charity, 2-3 weeks later, she's on a trip to Thailand. Okay, and now he's on a trip to the Philippines. So where did that money go?
Let me ask you this though. Seriously, ask this question. Oh, you're right. He is breathing easier, Mano. And since you know a lot of it, Mike, you know that some of this is not really appropriate for YouTube. And I think you would agree with me on that. But let me ask you this question. Why in God's green earth would anybody donate to a YouTuber for a charity in the first place? With the history of all the scamming that's gone on with that, why would you do that? Why would anybody not go through a legitimate charity instead of, anybody, I could tell you, hey, Philip, I'm going to go give spaghetti dinners to the poor. It can go on my pocket. I can give 3 of them, film it in a certain way that looks like there's a bunch of kids eating it. You go, oh, that's so wonderful. You don't think that almost everybody doing that is putting most of that money in their pocket?
Well, the spider sense, the creepy spider sense I got off of him from the beginning says, yes, most of the money went in his pocket. And that's why I don't think J. Mike will break the ties with him completely, because I think maybe some of that money went his way too. I don't know. I just got a feeling, right?
But you're spot on that. That's like really legit the truth. Like,
well, they were partners. They were partners on their live streams.
No. There's no way J. Mike is part of that. No way. He said that, he seemed pretty shocked by the whole thing. He doesn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and wants to give the guy a chance, I guess. So I don't think J. Mike's involved in some conspiracy to defraud people.
I didn't say that. I said I think that he's, they're making money. Here's the statement he made. He said I did live streams with him for all these months, and the figures didn't add up. So we're losing subscribers, and the figures didn't add. Why do you use the word figures? The figures didn't add up. I only use the word figures when I'm talking about women and money. Okay, that word figures. Okay, it didn't add up. That's the exact words. It didn't add up.
People should only give to legitimate charities. We're talking Red Cross, Salvation Army, all the usual ones, because even though not all of it goes where you want it to go, at least it's legitimate. And these other are abroad. Rich Buong, how are you? Haven't seen any new videos from you lately. Are you on sabbatical?
What's up, Rich Buong?
Yeah, Rich Buong. The Rich Buong gamer.
Rich Buong, what's up, dude? What's up?
I don't think
the whole point is if you're gonna cut ties doing collaborations with another YouTuber, okay, and you're gonna break the ties. He says, I'm still friends with him, but I'm gonna not do collaborations with him anymore.
Yeah, but you don't want to be Philip. You don't want to be guilty of what that one guy accused me of doing by being your friends. I got banned and blocked just because I didn't talk shit about you because they said you did something or you said something to Tina. Remember that whole incident?
Yeah, and I did say it, but it was taken out of context, though.
I know it was, but the point is, just because if you have a friend and they do something creepy that you don't like, you don't block and ban people. I mean, what is this?
But what I did was not creepy. See, it
I
was
know.
taken out of context. And I
I
did
know.
admit that I said it. Did I not admit that I said what I said was on that tape? It's just it was taken out of context. He took a
Point I
certain, yeah,
made about loyalty of a friend. So if J Mike and Darren are actually real friends in real life, and he does something creepy, you can see why he's reticent to say, okay, I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater because you flashed yourself for somebody. You might not know.
well, I understand it, but his wife's best friend was the person that got poked and groped. Okay.
Yeah, because
you think his wife's gonna? Do you think his wife's gonna let him just let that slide? She's pissed off at Jay. He
I
should
didn't
at
even
least.
know about that
He should
part
at
of it
least.
tonight.
He
but
should. He should at least take the link that he has on the information when you do the videos where it's got Darren's name there. He should at least delete Darren's names off of that information link. You know, if he's going to stop collaboration, he can still be friends background with him, whatever. But he should at least take that link off if he's going to stop.
Oh, he's definitely going to stop the collaboration. There's no question.
But the link's there. Go to his channel and look, and the link's there where it says Darren Dobson channel, and it's in the buttons there that you can click on to go to Darren Dobson's channel. You know.
Well, he might not have remembered that part, but
well, somebody needs to remind him. Okay? Because I saw that, and I said, until he deletes that button, they're still connected.
so big, you against for the charity in YouTube, yeah?
oh, 100%. I would never give money to
So
that.
YouTube charity.
So you're not gonna buy me a plane ticket so I can get back to the United States because I'm stuck in Thailand?
No, I'm going to buy Nico a plane ticket because he's a wounded warrior, and I'm going to buy. I have 2 tickets on the line, but I would buy something. Like, let's say I'm a great friend with Honeyco, and she has a tragedy in her home, like something happened, and she told me, and I said, "Here, I want to donate to it." I'll donate that way to YouTube. Somebody that I know is telling me the truth. But to say I have Typhoon Odette and I'm going to go and raise money and go give it to victims, I don't believe that for a second.
I've never believed in that when JLB was doing that stuff with the Lugao.
I never buy that shit.
JLB collected all that fucking money, which Cher, the pencil artist, was working with him at the time, and that other Filipina that drives the van with Brian Ramos by the airport. They all collected that money with JLB to feed some kids, and they went out and they made a big old pot of Lugao, and they fed these kids. How much does it cost back in the day to make a pot of Lugao that big, man? What, $50? $50 maybe? And time in the bowls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I think we should be generous as people, you know, but we don't want to throw our money away. So helping individual people, helping people that you know that it's never on camera. It's never to get money out of other people. I think that's a good thing. But
I give to one charity. I don't give to the Salvation Army because my dad, when he was drinking for a while there, he was there and he said all those officers keep the friggin' money in their pockets. So I don't donate to the Salvation Army. I donate to one charity, and that's Catholic Charities. Even though they got perverted priests, I still donate to Catholic Charities because I seen them write checks for people that were from Islam for their rent and for their electric bills and shit when they were down and out. So I will donate to Catholic Charities. I even did that one video on that soup kitchen that they're running in the town where I'm from, where they feed the friggin' bums at noon. They give them a sack lunch. They used to give them a hot meal before COVID. Then COVID hit, and then they stopped that. They give out bag lunch and stuff. So I will donate because I see my money's doing good there. So I'll donate to Catholic Charities.
Yeah, whatever the place is, a legitimate place that actually has a long history of helping people, that's a better use of doing that than it is a vlogger who's a horny bastard who wants to go and, you know, meet lots of Filipinas.
And I will play bingo. I will play bingo at the DAV, Disabled Veterans. I will play bingo there because I know that's going to help out disabled veterans.
Filipinas are good wives.
Where does it say that? They're good wives, and the Filipinos here don't seem to agree because it seems like everybody's a single mom.
Philip, I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night,
Okay.
right?
Take care, my friend.
You too, bro. Have a good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good night, JHK. Ingat, man.
I listen
Good
in
night.
bed.
What's this cabin here, Mick Fisher? Those cracked windshields don't fix themselves. Phil. What's he talking about? Cracked? I don't have a cracked windshield. I got a car that they don't know how to start. The windshield ain't cracked.
Okay, we did funds for Typhoon Odette from my neighbors. Okay, that's good if you did that. Did you go around soliciting illegally on YouTube to do that? It's great if you do it. If you do it and your family and friends get together and do a collection and then you distribute it to the actual people, fantastic. I think we all think that's wonderful. But
Yeah,
that's
not only
for me
I
being
think you know who that.
saying I need
Ziggy,
money so I can get cam shows from Filipinas.
I think you know who that. I think you know who that is, Biggie. That's Faye. Do you know Faye, the nurse that used to live in Florida and she got married and now she's I think in California someplace. Faye.
No. Let me tell you. Let me help you out. I don't watch any show except for Nico, Honeyco once in a while if I'm up at that time, which is rare. And Kevin, those are the only times I'm up. I'll watch your show if I happen to see you on, but you didn't come on for like 2 or 3 months. You disappeared.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm gonna be disappeared more now. I told the grandson the other day. I told him, I said, "Man, you don't get my car running, you guys ain't gonna ever see me again." I said, "Because I'll just stay in the Philippines. There's no use in coming home if I can't drive back down to Mexico." The Van Phillip. We talked about it before. Oh, the van. Not my. Okay, I get it. You're not talking about my car. You're talking about. Okay, I got it. I got it. You're talking about the woman. You're talking about the woman's van. I can't remember her name now.
Do you know what the name of Philip's van is?
No. It's not my van, Biggie. It's a woman's van that she picks up people at the airport.
This is a little trivia. The name of Philip's van. This is it.
At the Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
That's right.
Love Shack, baby.
Phillips.
You know, I got a story about that. A lesbian was sharing an apartment. A lesbian was sharing an apartment with Biggie, and when she moved in, I told her there's no cock block in here. There's none of that shit going on. You bring your girlfriend by, I'm not going to hit on her. I bring my girlfriend by, you don't try to hit on. You know what she did? She brought my girlfriend a goddamn B-52s baseball hat. I said, that's a collector's item. I said, come on, we got to go talk. I went to talk to her. I said, you can't be doing that shit, man. I'm trying to pick up on my girlfriend, man.
It's copyright, Rich, but I think it's, I only played it for 15 seconds. So
there you go. Mick Fisher's got the name Rhea. I couldn't remember her name. That's so freaking long ago on JLB's, man, Rhea. Yeah, she had a cracked windshield and she's picking up passengers at Naya. I mean, come on, that's got to be legit. They're going to license her to do that when she's got a cracked windshield.
That's your girlfriend, Philip?
No, that was one of the girls that was helping with JLB back in the day when they were doing the charities with the Lugo and shit.
Did you go to the Walnut Bar yet?
Ay, nako. So many doing that charity online.
Did you go to the Walnut Bar yet?
What?
Did you go to the Walnut Bar?
No, I haven't had my nuts cracked yet. I'm a virgin. I'm a lesbian. Can't you see my name? Show my name.
Show my name. Address to the Walnut Bar. He was going to share that out so you could easily find it.
Show my name, honey, so the name show up.
All right.
Biggie hasn't seen it yet.
All right.
I don't have any nuts to get cracked. I'm a lesbian. I don't have any TT to show. That's why I'm so mad at the crazy guy, man.
The old warm-up bar. Yeah. So, Philip, you need to go check that out. And ask them to roofie you and see if you go after them.
They can't roofie me, man. I'm immune to that shit too, man. I take volumes already. How are they gonna roofie me, man?
What, Rich Buang? Ay, naku, Rich.
Ay, nako, Rich Buang. Haniko says, ay, nako.
Ay, naku, Rich Buang. Nabuang na.
She says, Rich Buang too. Sumama kasa akin.
What time there?
Time to go to bed.
Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here in Thailand.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
She came out early. She was nice to me today, though. She started her chat early today, man. Usually I got to get up at 4 in the morning to come on her stream, man.
She lost her co-host.
Yeah, well.
Her co-host is no longer part of her show.
Well, when you're working in Europe,
part of a show, a cam show, but not the show.
Do you leave tomorrow or when do you leave?
Oh, I leave later in the week, this week.
Okay. So when you leave and you go to Europe and you're working and you got an hour free, you can come on and be Honeyco's co-host. There you go.
I'm starting in Qatar, and I'm hoping to meet Harriet and have a big Cuban cigar with her. But we'll see. That's the goal. I'll be meeting Honeyco too, but of course we like to keep that secret when that happens. We never
buy her a brand new bum gun handle. And take her the high pressure bum gun handle as a gift. If you're gonna take her a gift, make sure you get it nice, real high pressure bum gun, right? And give her that as a gift. Right?
Simply Vlog. No, I'm a bum. I'm a person. I'm like Philip. I never served anything. I'm the bum. Never even went to school. I'm autodidactic.
No,
The flat mush.
Soy Boomerang Philip, check out the distance between the Hideaway Hotel and the warm-up bar. It tells the story of bullshit travels.
Haba ba Diyos ko iyo, garapon chismis, ara-ara ulit ka na. Hi, babe.
I've been communicating with the aliens, Biggie, the reptilians.
Oh, really?
They told me that to reverse aging, you need to activate this part. We only use 10% of our DNA strand, right? They said you got to find the part of the DNA strand that makes cell replication correct. And you have to, like re-engineer that, like stem cell type stuff, re-engineer the DNA strand to remanufacture your cells, like Joe Biden says, build back better instead of building back worse. That's why we have aging, right? You have to make that DNA strand build back better. And what it'll do is reverse your age. So like if you're 55 now, next year you'll be 54, and then the next year you'll be 53, and the next year you'll be 52. They said, but you got to be careful because you might go back up your mother's womb, right?
Wow, it sounds like an advanced form of autophagy.
Yeah, well, they said it'll work if you can get that strand of the DNA to actually reproduce cells correctly. You'll stop aging.
You know what? I've been doing it all wrong. I was looking for the reptilians all my life, and I realized the reason why I didn't find them is because the Earth is flat and they live on the bottom of the flat Earth.
Yeah, well, the reason I can communicate
on the round Earth, okay.
The reason I can communicate with them now is because I'm closer to Antarctica in Thailand here. So with the curvature of the Earth being so slim down here, because of the flat Earth theory, I can just use my ESP to communicate with them, and they send me messages through my fingertips, and it goes through my body. I told them, help me regenerate my cells, right? And they've been sending me every night. I sit at the balcony and I stream in that energy from Antarctica.
You know what the reptilians told me?
What?
They said, tell Philip Janik to go out to nightclubs and to show other parts other than the coffee shop.
Wow.
So you better do it.
I'm gonna have to check that. I did motorcycle vlogs in Vietnam Okay, I did motorcycle vlogs in Vietnam, and nobody watches them. I did one in fucking Ho Chi Minh City that I went over to another whole district and shit on the back of this guy's bike, and I did one in Dalat where I was on a grab bike.
If you
It
want to
looks
get
like the-
watch, Philip, I'll tell you how to get watch. Go find the same lady boy that Ricky Drama was kissing. Have that
Just-
person suck your cock on cam, and I guarantee you, you're going to be famous all over the world.
You don't have to do that. You just have to go to Chicago to the Polish dog place and vlog the Polish dog place with a security guard standing in front of it, and you get 20,000 views.
Yeah, do that one. You get more views.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
get a lot of
just
views.
do a mukbang. Just do a mukbang street video, food video. If you hit the
Imagine
right one.
everybody saying, did you see what Philip Janik did?
He made a short at the coffee shop talking about a junk, and it's not a car that I'm talking about.
I'm going to be doing a lot of shrooms here in a few weeks, Whitcomb, Mr. Whitcomb. I've
Well,
been in experimental mode. You look at my video last night. We were doing cigars on the live stream. So I'll shock you when I get back to Amsterdam, because I'm going to blaze up on live streams and show everybody how to do it.
I told my grandson I'm not making any more shit for him to watch because he's not going to see me until he gets my car started. I don't want to have to go back to a new car lot, buy a new car, and then have a payment that I got a debt. I don't owe anything now, so that means I'll just throw a shit ton of money back into the old car to get it right.
You're not
and
moving
drive it
back.
back. I'm gonna like. Are you saying I'm gonna like the Philippines?
I'm saying you already like Vietnam. So if you
Yeah,
don't
but
like,
I can only stay there 30 days at a time, man.
well,
Unless
yeah,
I take that job offer that I got offered there to market with Walmart and Target textiles and shit. I don't want to go back to work. I'm retired, man.
well, in the Philippines, after your first extension, you can get up to 6-month extensions.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, but you're saying I'm gonna like it there. If I don't like it there, why would I stay?
Yeah,
I think the wife-
From what I've seen so far, it's like that video I made. Do I need a lawyer to go to the Philippines?
No. Oh, you're
We got the three
You're way-
stooges over there. Fazio, Frank, and Mama. And we got the three stooges suing each other over there.
I think you'll like it here, but it's more expensive here. That's just the only downside to it. The English is better. There's a lot of things better and worse, but it's not as cheap. There's no way the Philippines is as cheap as Vietnam.
Tried to beat 40 large shrimps.
Bakla
Who
is a
had
gay.
40, who had 40 large?
Bakla is a
Who
gay
had
na
40?
away. Right. Translation na ritual.
No, it wasn't a teaching job, Ernest. It was a marketing job, man.
Okay,
But then I'd have
do
to
some
live in
live
Ho Chi Minh.
streams in some clubs there, and in some, do more of your show.
I
You
don't
haven't
care.
done enough of that since you got there. You did more shows when you were in the U.S.
Yeah, because I'm having more fun here, man. You know what the hell? I don't got time for fucking doing live streams from here and shit. I come on Honey Goes, and that's about it, man.
The Philip Janik.
Come on, Janik. That's a lame
And
excuse. They show every day. Yep.
When you're having fun, man, you're not thinking about freaking YouTube. To be honest with you, I'm just being honest with you. I've always told the truth. When I'm having fun, the last thing on my freaking mind is YouTube, man.
But all your friends want to see you have fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Then
they can follow me around and watch because they're not going to know what I'm doing. I'm not putting that out on YouTube, man. If I was kissing lady boys, it would not go on YouTube. Let's put it that way.
Party pooper.
What can I say?
Yeah, for 8 plates. I do remember that. I don't know how any human being could get that much in one shot, you know. If you throughout an entire day, yes, but about 10 plates of food.
You don't
Rich,
have big.
Eat
Rich,
plates.
Rich,
There was
Rich,
2 or 3 other plates
I'm
beyond
di-
that.
I am diabetic. I cannot eat that big sit down at one time, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't eat like a big thing of food all at once. I eat little small meals, man. Buffets are not, except for that breakfast buffet in Vietnam. That was good.
I admire his ability to get that much in. I mean, I think it was 400 pesos. So certainly he got his money's worth.
When I took Big Kev to that Chinese buffet, I thought he was going to eat more. He only had 2 plates. That was it. 2 plates and a dessert. I thought he was going to eat like 3, 4 fucking plates, man. I kept telling him I wanted to bang the damn owner of the restaurant. He kept telling me, quiet, quiet.
He was accused.
See, that's the word, accused. Accused.
I would be shocked if that happened. And I don't even know why you'd want it to happen if you just had 10 plates of food. I mean, the last thing I would want to think about is a doggy bag after I've consumed that much.
Woof, woof. See, now I'd be the one that took like 8 shrimps out with me because I'd eat them later. About 3 hours later, I'd eat them. You know? I can't. Buffets are really not for me, except for, like I said, that breakfast one in Vietnam. Because what I liked about it is I could put a little bit of everything on my plate. You know what I mean? And go back and just like have a little bit, like maybe two little tiny like pancakes, and then get a shit because I can eat all the eggs I want. Eggs don't make your sugar go up. I get like scrambled eggs, and then I get bacon, and they can get an omelet and all that shit. Throw it all. I can eat eggs like Cool Hand Luke, man.
How about rice?
He had about 26 eggs, if I remember right.
It was more than that, man. In the movie, I think it was like 30 something, 30 or 31, some shit like that. Because that was the bet that he could eat 30, I think is what it was.
30. He's not supposed to have rice, honey cook, because he's diabetic.
I eat it. I had rice today, but I just don't eat a lot of it. I got the pork rice noodles with the gravy, the Korean shit, the white rice noodles with pork, and then I had a pork fried rice that I put on top of it. Had mostly egg and vegetables in it, and just a little bit of rice. I mixed it together and I ate that. And then I got 4 hard-boiled eggs in the fridge that I could eat whenever I want. Like Honeyco was eating eggs the other day.
Well, if that's what you like, you should come to my house because that's the type of stuff I make.
Well, I just get it for snacks, man. And if I get around here, I don't eat candy bars, and I'm not. Sometimes I'll cheat and I'll buy a bag of chips, but I'm not supposed to eat chips. So what I'll do is I'll just like eat stuff like hard-boiled eggs.
I'll cook for you, man. I'll cook for you low carb so you won't have a spike in your.
Yeah, well, that's what I gotta eat. I gotta eat low carb, high fat.
Yes.
I mean, I can eat the others. I got pills that I can take, but the thing is, the pills, if you eat the stuff and then take the pills, you get the shits, man. So why would you eat the stuff just so you get the shits? You gotta take a pill? Fuck that.
50 eggs, says McFisher. 50 is pretty extreme. I mean, I can do 10 maybe, but 50, oh, geez, that would be.
No, he's talking about Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah,
I thought it was 30. I thought it was 30. It was 50? All I know is I like the scene where the girl was washing the car. Woo, and they're all in the horny during the chain game. They're watching her doing that car. Whoa. That was like X-rated for back in the day, man. Put it this way, that was very risque for when that movie was made, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So Mickey, how much for
and I saw that, and Ernest will know this, I saw that movie at the Parthenon. And I was just a little shit when I saw that movie, man.
What was that, Honeyco?
How many eggs to eat every day?
If I'm being strict with eating, I'll have somewhere between 3 and 6, because I'll eat like an omelet and then I'll have 2 or 3 hard-boiled eggs throughout the day. If I'm being strict,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
not strict, I mean, who knows how many. Lately, I've been fasting, so I haven't really been eating anything for a while.
I do that a lot too. I do that. Well, I'll eat, and then for 18 hours I don't eat nothing, and then I'll eat, and then for 18 hours I don't eat. What do they call that shit? It's not what is it called? I can't think of it. It's kind of
Intermittent
I forgot.
fasting.
Intermittent. Yeah, intermittent fasting. I'll do that every now and then. I'll be right back.
Honeyco, what happened to your face?
What? I'm eating, Biggie. I'm hungry.
Maybe one of the creepy fans would like to see you eating. You never know.
I'm eating this.
It's cold over there right now, huh?
Yeah. Last night, 8 degrees last night.
8 degrees Celsius.
8, 7, like
Yeah. What are you eating? Herpy burger?
no, this one.
Oh, okay.
Biscuit.
I see.
Oh my God. So what happened, the topic? What happened to Darren Dobson after this?
Fasting. We got off in fasting.
No, Manok, not order.
She's also polite enough to mute her microphone when she's chewing, unlike what's his name, the Bantayan buffoon, who I'm tired of Barry.
Oh my
So,
God.
well, I mean, have you ever heard that before? Like, oh gosh, why would you eat right or do a live stream right when you're expecting a big plate of food? You've heard that, right, Captain? I mean, I know you've heard that. Stream Elements. Boy, you still doing that? Gosh, disable that thing.
My body, Biggie.
It's your body?
Yeah. You know, Stream Element have follow. She has 154,000 followers on YouTube.
And
And I use night boat. It's still like night boat.
I know, but it's annoying as hell, man. You should get rid of that. But I want to tell you, Honeyco, and I mean this sincerely. Anytime you want to pull a Darren Dobson on me, like you want to do a video call and flash, I give you my permission. Okay.
All right.
I promise I won't tell anyone on YouTube.
Okay, do some do live stream sometimes, Biggie, and then put. Let's talk about the perfect, the maniac.
I'll happily do that after you give me the show.
All right. Do it.
Let's see. I heard DD made an apology video to J Mike's friend. DD supporters were saying this was an isolated incident and all should be forgotten. Well, if it was an isolated incident, then probably that's true. But as we unfold the story and the other details that I found out from certain people, it seems like he has a lot of apologizing to do to a lot of people.
Think about it.
But at the
Think
other
about it.
side of this, though, I mean, I don't want to be too hard on the guy, because what do you think happens when people come here and meet somebody? They're fucking within minutes, or sorry, hours at the most. So to act like everyone's a bunch of virgins and this is super traumatizing is a little overboard as well. I think the big issue there is that he was cheating on the girl that he was with and playing this little game to all these Filipinas using, I'm going to send you Globe or whatever, super chats or whatever it was. And it seems like it's manipulative to get free shows.
For the $10 super chat, and then the Filipinas, oh, this guy, it's good, blah, blah, blah.
Right, because they're desperate. But the thing is, I've always wondered how the other clown was able to get away with it with 99-cent super chats. I have never been able to get my computer to give 99 cents. It's either $1 or $2. It never says 99 cents. And I think that's the key. I need to make it say 99 cents, and then I'll get all the cam shows for free.
Okay, Big E, give me $100. Come on.
I will. You do the show first, and then we'll talk. Send it on video so I can have it as a memento. He's a total, I mean, he is. I mean, it is very scumbaggery at the highest level, because why is he with that one woman? Now, if they had an open relationship, or they were swingers, or they had an agreement that he could do this or that, that's a whole different story. But to be like, oh, I'm your boyfriend, and then next thing you know, like out of the blue, you're calling Honeyco, and you got all these things are found on your phone. It's not just the J. Mike wife friend thing. It's all these other things. But at the same time, if the guy came up and admitted it and just said, look, I lost my way and I want to fix it and everything like that, I think people should forgive and give him a chance.
But he didn't do, Big E.
He didn't. But if he did, if he said, I'm really sorry, and he admitted, I did these 10 things, will you forgive me and give me a second chance to be your friend? I mean, I would hope that there's some kind of forgiveness in people's heart for mistakes that people make if they admit them. Oh, 3 years? I didn't hear that part. You hear bits and pieces of it, and it seemed like it was only all taking place within a matter of weeks. But if it's 3 years of it, then it's kind of predatory.
Well, yeah, he was doing it since he had the collaboration with J. Mike, because J. Mike said he was losing subscribers every week. The subscribers were going down, because I guess he was pissing off Filipinos, Like if Team Happy found out about that,
Yeah, because 10%
that's
following.
That's a lot of people right there. Sorry it took so long, but I did an idiotic thing. I left the friggin' balcony light on when I went inside. When I came back, guess what was here, Honeyco? You should know. Flying ants, man. So I had to shut all the lights out. Now I'm back out on the balcony. Protect my space, man. So I had to protect my space.
Mike, I want to ask Mike this question, because he's been around for about as long as I've been around. You've heard some of the things I used to say before when I did my show a long time ago. I've always been suspicious of this bro and sis type stuff, and this is my ate, and here's another 99 cents. I mean, there's a lot of people like that. I think this brings up a lot of questions about a whole lot of people on YouTube, what they're really doing there.
Oh, Biggie, I figured out how to do that, like $1.49 and the 99-cent shit, or the dollar. What you got to do is super sticker, which you have to do to get 99 cents. You got to click on super sticker, and if it's $1.49, click it off, go back again, it'll lower it down. The next time it'll be 99 or higher. Just keep doing it until you can get a 99-cent one and you can send that. Now, super chats, you do the super chat, it won't let you type anything in, but you can slide the thing down from the $2 minimum. You can slide it down from there to $1.49.
Yeah, you only send me 99 cents, Philip.
Yeah, but I sent you $2 twice, and I sent you $1 something, and then altogether about $7 and something this whole month. That's like 3 packs of cigarettes on the go, man. Jeez. Look at all the work I'm doing for you, man. Coming up on your streams too, man. You know?
Thank you, Philip.
And it only costs you $2.
Yeah, and the day I was here when Kale Gervin was here, we got a pinky that day too, right? That's a $50 one. Bam.
Did she come up on the panel?
No, she didn't. And I think the time John Baker was here, you got a pinky from John Baker too, right?
No, this
Didn't-
2010.
This month, no, this month he gave you a pinky once. I don't know if it was earlier in the month though.
Kale gave her $100 the last time I was on the show.
Yeah.
$100.
Kale's a good supporter. Kale's a good supporter.
99 cents.
Man, okay, sent 99 cents. Come on, commercial time. You get a commercial, even if it's 99 cents. Got to do the commercial.
Okay, thank you for the 99 cents.
That's it. Push. Come on. Now the next question is, how did you do that, Manel Gates? Because I tried it before and I couldn't get it, even though Phil told me I did that. And
That's not even 99 cents because that's Canadian 99. So that's
yeah,
like
but it
60
says 99. That's the magic key to make them take their clothes off. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
They
you
don't
got to
want
remember.
$100. They want 99 cents. That there's some folk magic thing with it.
Everybody that comes, you got to remember, everybody that comes here is a creepy pervert, right? So we're giving her 99 cents because we're thinking it's going to flip her switch, right?
Most of them are. Most guys are kind of perverted in some way or another. Not everybody.
Yeah, well, you know how Harriet talks dirty and shit. Me and her have been friends for like over 3 years since I first came on YouTube, man. Since
Well,
what,
but that's the
2019?
point. All these Filipinos that I know, like every single one of them talks dirty in real life.
Well, I mean, we've been friends since 2019 when Gogo Bobo named me the homeless man. Way back when Chico Serras was streaming. That's why I said that one stream that Big Kev had this week. Everybody was talking about Frank, but nobody mentioned the time because you were there, okay? And I think Brian was on that stream too, and Renegade. And that was the one where she was saying that she had the screenshot of Frank's TT, the little tiny micro penis, Frank's micro penis, and she was going to show it, right?
And he was
And nobody
talking
brought.
to me during that time.
I got in a screaming match with him because back then I didn't know YouTube was YouTube. You know, I was taking shit serious, right? And I got in a screaming. Remember, I got in a screaming match with him on there. I said, "Who the fuck are you to come on here and scream at Chi like that?" You know, right? I mean, now if he's to do that, I said, "This is just fucking YouTube." Like Kev says, it's entertainment only. You know, what the hell?
Right, but
Did
I
you
know I'm just saying in real life, and Honeycomb knows this because she's with a bunch of Filipinos. They do what they call green humor. And do you know what I'm talking about, Honeycomb?
Yeah,
And
I know.
they are the dirtiest people you've ever listened to in your life. They are so dirty with their joking. And if you go to call centers, if you go anywhere, that's how it is. They're just
Well,
unbelievably.
Big E, I deal with Filipinos every time I call the bank, man, because the call center's in the Philippines, man.
But
And
the
I
call
talk to the
center
Philippines.
people are
I
not
talk to
talking
the-
to you dirty.
No, but I talk to them all the time, and I tell them.
You know what they do at the end of the shift? They sit at the base of the building. They all get red horse, get drunk, and it is super wild.
And then I know where I'm gonna hang out. Then when I get to Manila, I'm gonna hang out at the call center, right?
You should. It's amazing.
The Chase call center, right?
Totally.
They have one in Cebu too, right? Doesn't Chase have a call center in Cebu too? Because she said she was in Makati.
Oh, we have a
One
bunch
out.
of centers here. We have the IT Park where I was streaming from last night. Is all call centers everywhere around, and then Cebu.
But is it Chase? Is it Chase though? That's
I don't know if Chase specifically, but a lot of times Chase is an account inside of another call center with a different name. So like Verizon has a call center here, but it's not called Verizon. It's called Converges or something like that, and that's their account. Yeah, and as I said, he has a bunch of them that popped up. They popped up everywhere. But anyway, my point is, if you think these people are walking around the Philippines like virgins, I mean, that's people who've never been here. Honeyco herself said every married woman that she's ever met in Saudi is cheating within 1 month. So,
oh yeah, I heard her say that. I heard her say that.
They're not angels. Let's just put it that way.
Well, come on. I mean, they're alone. They're away from their family. You know, what do you expect them to finger bang themselves for 5 years? You know?
That's the only little part of this that I just think we have to be cautious about with Darren Dobson, that we white knight this too much, because these girls know how to handle pervs and they know how to deal. They're very, you know, joking that way themselves a lot.
Yeah, saying. But see, I have this creepy spider sense, you know, and I spider sensed them from the beginning. I knew something was wrong, but a lot of them Filipinos.
I'm saying
there are some Filipinos that aren't all, you know. I know there's a bunch of them that are like loose and crazy and shit and stuff, right?
Let's take Honeyco. Honeyco has been out for 10 years working like this. She went to YouTube and announced this. She's bitch slapping him every day, so she knows how to handle herself. That's all I'm saying. Like, he's not getting away. She's the one that exposed it. I think these girls know how to take care of themselves from creepy. I'm not saying it shouldn't be come out and tell the truth, but I'm saying we don't want to I mean, you can't overplay the hand too much, because, you know, if he just showed up in Manila, you fuck every girl you meet. You know, that any girl that you meet, you're in bed with them within a matter of a couple of hours. That's the reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think the best thing I did since I was on YouTube, well, two best things. The first one was when I outed all those trolls with that stream that I recorded. I recorded the stream off the TV and then I uploaded it. And I got a shitload of views on that with the boss, Gogo, Cebu Bossman was on there. All those guys talking, and Cebu Bossman was the one that busted Donnie out. He goes, "Oh, you have to call him the real Philipgenic now, because he changed his name to the real Philipgenic, right?" And Cebu Bossman didn't know I was recording. And I uploaded that shit, man. We got a big argument on the Appsters and everywhere and shit. That's when I first came on. And I told him, I says, "Listen, if you fucking leave me alone, I will fucking take that video down." And I took it down. I kept my word. I still have it. I could upload it whenever I want to.
Right? During that time, everybody was hypersensitive, and that was right around the time. But Honeyco and Manelcade both know. I'm not going to name names. Another famous vlogger who has like a basketball team worth of kids, all from different fathers, and married, and throwing herself at every single man that ever came on YouTube. And yet, if anybody said anything slightly dirty, it was like, "Oh, I can't believe you're subjecting me to that."
Yeah, well, when anybody overreacts like that, see, Honeyco's not overreacting. She's doing this out of fun.
You know? No. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. She knows she is a fighter. Honeyco's a big time fighter, and she fights. And that if all of you knew, I'm the only person who knows some of Honeyco's fighting skills, and if you knew some of the ways she fights back, you'd be completely shocked. But I'm not going to give that away.
Well, you know, I'm not. You know, I'm not a white knight. I'm not a white knight. I'm Zorro, right? Okay, but the thing is, I think the second, that troll video was the best, and then I think the second best thing I did was making that short. You know, because I made that short. It took off like 1,400 views. Like, no,
you did. That was good. I saw that too when it came out. That was actually really good. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but if you take it too far, then you have to start questioning everything, because why do you think people are going to the Philippines. They're not going there to play a game of canasta. It's
Yeah, well,
all
there's a lot of people go there just for the, let's just bring it out straight out, right? There's a lot of people go there because they can't get laid in the United States and they figure I'm going to get to the Philippines. It doesn't matter if I got a hunchback and I got no teeth and I'm fucking ugly as sin and I'm just nasty looking and shit, but I can go to the Philippines. I'm going to get laid. There's a lot of guys go there. I'm going to get laid. Okay.
right. That's about 99% of them.
Yeah, about 99.99%. Then you got the few, like me, I can get laid in the United States. I'm not going there to get laid. I didn't come to Southeast Asia to get laid. There's a guy that's staying in this building now since I made that other video with those girls. I busted myself out, I guess, because now this building is full of fucking people not from Thailand. But
you're in a different category.
But he's like in his 20s. This dude, man, you know, I wish I was in my 20s there, man.
Right.
I would be getting laid every day if I was.
I got to tell you one last funny follow up to the Baby Factory, Ernest, and the others. This same person who is disgusting in so many ways would say things about Honeyco like, well, Honeyco's just jealous of me.
Oh my God.
Hoo. Now, I mean, that's how delusional people can get, and they can get delusional being on YouTube, and especially if they get too much attention from males. First of all, Honeyco's 100 times hotter than this other person. Single, no kids, works for a living. I can go on, and yet that person truly believed that Honeyco was jealous of her. Like, what the fuck? So
you left out big bank account.
I'm jealous of her. Oh my God.
Honeyco's got 100 times more money than she does. I happen to know what both of them had, and even on the financial side, it wasn't close. So I'm just saying, people can get really crazy and delusional on both sides. The women can and the men. And the women, in some cases, know how to play the men as well. And they can get them to send money and super chats, and they can pretend to be like them. And there's a lot of this sort of thing that works in both directions.
Okay. Now, why do you think I made that shirt, Eric?
Because you're a friend of Honeyco and you think the guy's a creepy dude and you want to protect people from being his next target.
Correct. And also for the shock value, because I knew nobody else was going to do it. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm saying that it has the potential to be overplayed because there's not a lot of innocent people on YouTube.
Well, look at how many channels are talking about this now. The Rileys were talking about it tonight. Okay, the other day, J. Mike was talking about it. Day before that, Yazamonia was talking about it on her chat with Terry and them. Okay, I mean, it's all over. It's all over the community.
That also is the nature of YouTube, because there was a time when everybody had a feeding frenzy about me. I was constantly having shows against me. There was a time when people were always talking about you.
Yeah, I know. That's when that was at the same time when you were doing the Dr. Love.
It's cyclical. It's cyclical.
Yeah. And I was the homeless man, right? Yeah. The homeless man. Go named me the homeless man. Right? I took it and ran with it.
I left YouTube for 2 years, and every time I would tune into certain channels, I would hear my name being brought up. Like, yeah, Biggie did this. And like, I haven't even talked to anybody in 2 years. And they're still doing it. And it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But that's YouTube. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on YouTube.
The thing that gets me about this though is he's acting so wholesome and so Mr. I'm happy and I'm Mr. Nice Guy. And behind that, it's the creep, man. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Okay, he's one way on YouTube and he's different off of YouTube.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm not saying he shouldn't be exposed. I'm just trying to give you an idea how crazy things get. I remember Honeyco did a show during COVID after she had been locked up in her room for many months, and she was being told she has to go back to the agency because they weren't going to let her stay there anymore. And she had 35 people watching at one time, and every single one of them said, "Oh, Honeyco, you're a victim. This is wrong what they're doing to you. You need to go to OA and you need to report your employer for being, blah, blah, blah." And there was only one voice, mine, that said, all of what you just heard is bullshit. And you need to go down there and you need to do this because you have a contract and you're going to get blacklisted. And she was so mad at me because I didn't take their side.
Yeah, that was that Scott PSX chipper too.
There were a bunch of them.
I'll get you a plane ticket and fly you to
all of
the UK.
that, all of that, and none of it's true. Of course, it's all bullshit. The reality is, first of all, the reality is OA would not do anything. They don't do anything for these people. They don't have any power. Secondly, she had a contract. She went. Now she is where she is. If she had listened to them, she'd be living in the Philippines, desperate for somebody, and instead she's in Saudi, still making money. So
yeah,
people say and do shit on YouTube all the time that makes no sense, and you got to filter through it. And but so everyone has their moment of wackiness and craziness. I think with Darren Dobson, he should just come on, like you said earlier, tell the truth, and then put it behind him and leave it, and maybe leave YouTube.
Yeah, tell the
truth.
Well, he doesn't even have to leave. Just tell the truth and apologize and say he won't be a creep anymore, and say I won't do it again. Now are we going to believe him? He'll have to live up to it, but that would be the best thing for him. I mean, he doesn't have to take my friggin' advice about it, What did I say at the end of that short? I said, yeah, I don't get this, right? That was the last thing I did. I turned my head, I said, I just don't get it, right? Okay, and so I wasn't like actually throwing him under the bus. I was saying, I don't get it. Why are you such a creep? I just don't get it. When he was coming on Honeycoast, and half the time I wouldn't come to her show because he'd be co-hosted, And he's a creep. Oh, Philip Janik, he knows everything. Really? Yeah, I do. Because when I was younger, I was a fucking sex maniac. I was a maniac. I was an addict back in the day. Now, you meet me in person, and I'm going to be the same as I am right now in person as I am on YouTube. I went after that asshole because he was bringing out an Indian headdress on the damn live stream, saying he's going to a tribal meeting and he's got to wear. Man, he's a freaking idiot, man.
You don't.
I'm surprised John Baker didn't get pissed off at him. My grandfather went to Chilocco Indian School for orphan. Choctaw Cherokee, full-blooded. I hope that wasn't
your cracker.
I hope that wasn't a flying ant in my Coca-Cola cup I got out here. Whatever it was, I spit it out. Yeah, I busted him good on that one, didn't I, Billy? He come up on my panel one time. Can I come up? I had like 20 people in the chat. Can I come up? Yeah, come on up. And fuck, as soon as he got on the panel, there was one person in the fucking chat. Everybody left.
You think Philip Janik, Big E, he come on my channel doing that to say apology?
He should.
No.
No.
He won't, but he should. He should be eating crow right now.
Maybe that person watching on my stream right now. 100%.
Well, because I mean, Billy Jack, he's talking about Sean.
No, he's talking about Darren. You talking about Darren or Sean?
We're talking about Sean. See, he came up and he was telling people they don't have to pay taxes and shit. I know this attorney in fucking Portland or Seattle or some fucking place. I don't know where he said it was from. I can't even remember his shit. But all I know is I told him, well, put the name out there. I said, these people want to know, man. I said, give us a name and a phone number. Oh, I can't do that. I go, why wouldn't you? He'd want the business, man. Give him the business, man. These people are going to go to him and figure out how they don't have to pay taxes. Oh, I can't do that. And then the next stream, he come up there. DC was there too from Darksider. And they were asking me, Darren Dobson, Mike G, and Sean Or all ask me, well, when we go to the Philippines, Philip Jenner's going to come with us. I go, you guys are fucking nuts. I'm not going nowhere with you people. They go, why wouldn't you go travel with us? I go, because I travel alone, buddy. I said, I don't need you guys. I told them straight up, I don't need you guys. Because I know they're all creeps, man.
Well, a lot of people say that I have a friend who's an astronaut, and he told me that we never went to the moon. I go, what's the name of the astronaut? I can't tell you who he is because I have to protect his identity from reptiles. And it's like, okay, so you don't know anybody. Anyone can say they know someone who told me blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean it's true.
Well, I'm communicating with the aliens right now here. The dogs are going to start barking. Wait a minute. Hear them? Every time I do that, they're going to start barking now. Because they can hear the ESP that I'm sending through my fingernails down to Antarctica. They pick up on the voice. Hear them? Hear them? Hear them? There they go.
Age 93 and said he feels like a teenager.
Okay, I'll stop. Oh!
You know Buzz Aldrin, the one who did not go to the moon, the one who was not the second man to land on the moon, that Buzz Aldrin.
Who's the one that right after they went to Antarctica came back and died?
I don't know that story.
There's an astronaut took a trip down to John Glenn. He took a trip down to Antarctica. They showed him something down there, and he came back to the United States. And about a week later, he died from a heart attack.
Is that the ice wall?
No, I don't know. Maybe they showed him fucking some reptilians or something. I don't know.
Anyway, Buzz Aldrin absolutely was the second man to land on the moon, and he's a great guy. I love listening to his interviews.
No, I don't need a tinfoil hat. You notice the dog stopped barking because I'm not putting my hand out drawing the ESP from the reptilians from Antarctica right now. They're all quiet.
Well, Kenny Gunner sells tinfoil hats, 2 for the price of 1.
I always say when we're talking about asteroids and shit, I always say we need to get Kenjamin Gunner here, man.
Yeah, where is he, Biggie?
I don't know, but he's a great guy, of course. But he's a believer in reptilians and all that other stuff.
Billy Jack. Yes. Brett told me his mother's, daddy's, sister's, cousin's, stepbrother's, auntie, great uncle, brother is a good man too.
You think? No.
You knew a guy named Buzz Aldrin? How many? Is there more than one? Buzzed Aldrin. Buzzed.
I know a character named Buzz Lightyear.
Well, Buzz said that 93 is the new 40. So God bless him. I think I wish him the best. I hope he lives another 10, 15 years. That'd be great.
33. That's the magic number, man. 33. You know what? Fazio used to actually entertain me. I used to actually watch his freaking streams when he had the Obama doll and stuff. He was funny back then, man. He's not funny anymore, man.
That type of stuff can be funny, but the stuff like trying to get your science from people who have no knowledge of it, mathematics or science, or your medical advice from people who have no medical training.
Yeah, gravity doesn't exist.
Google is full of.
That's why my nuts are hanging down to my knees now, because gravity doesn't exist. Right?
But reality, nobody agrees with them. None of its people. Nobody.
Well, they brought up an argument that the Earth's not spinning because you could just hover in the air in one spot and that your destination would eventually come around to you, right? Well, because of gravity, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way because gravity, it won't happen that way. It holds you in the spot where you're at, right?
No. No. You're spinning with the Earth. And the Earth is moving at 1,000 miles per hour, but let's understand one thing. It's only going 1 RPD, 1 revolution per day. So
Yeah.
go to merry-go-round and make it spin 1 revolution in a day and tell me how fast that is.
Not too fast.
No, spiritual prepper, they're not fake. They're touched up because of the type of cameras they have to use.
Yeah, they didn't have the cameras that we have now. So
No,
I
but
mean,
even now, sometimes it has to be touched up. If you do things in infrared, the way that
Basic.
the lights that are used, the way it's done, you're going to get some. But the reality is, the Earth's not flat, and the moon thing wasn't a hoax. I mean, what the heck?
well, that's like
Slightly
Aztec believes that we never went to the moon. We had some arguments on Global about that. He's saying because of the cosmic belt that they couldn't survive the radiation.
Which is not true. Like I already did a show on that one.
I know. But I mean, that's
science. The Van
But
Allen
that's
belt.
that's his excuse.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know what he's talking about. This is complete BS.
I agree. Well, I agree.
The Earth is not a frisbee, because if any of you have ever had a telescope, or even if you have just your eyes, every single object in the sky appears to be round. Now, some of it is potato that looks like a potato, and they have different types of round, but there's no pizzas floating out there. We don't see any. The
Earth might not be completely perfectly round. I mean, perfectly round.
It's a spheroid.
But it's spheroid. Yeah.
And the fact that it's round proves that gravity does exist, because gravity is what created the roundness in the first place.
Yeah. And there's a core. And here comes Spiritual Prepper. Welcome, Spiritual. What's up, man?
Yeah, hello,
Hi.
hello, Honeyco. Hello, Big E.
Oh.
Hello, Phil. How you going? And hello to everyone in the audience. Hello to everyone in the audience.
There we go.
Yeah, some of the moon landing photos, they definitely look fake. They're not touched up like you're saying, Big E. I'm not talking about anything to do with that. Where the little craft, their little spaceship, Honeyco, the little moon spaceship that came down and landed, they say landed on the moon. When it came down towards the ground, in the video, you could see the video footage of the camera where they were supposed to be inside their little spacecraft, and they were looking from inside out of the window down at the ground. You could see all this dust and dirt being blown away, like when you sweep the floor in your house in the Philippines or America or Mexico, wherever you sweep your house. When you sweep the dirt, it'll leave a clean area where you've swept, and the dirt will be, where you haven't swept yet. But where you've swept, it'll leave a clean area on the concrete or tiles, and then there'll be dirty area around you where you haven't swept yet. And when the ship was coming down, the little spaceship, where they said they landed on the moon, you could see through the window when they were looking, there was all dirt being blown out away from the ship, from the thruster. Underneath the ship, there was like a rocket thruster, like when a helicopter comes down to land on the ground. You see on television when the helicopter comes down, when there's an area where they're landing in dirt, like in the jungle or in the forest, you'll see a lot of dust and leaves being blown away from when the helicopter comes down. It blows wind down, wind down on the ground. But when they landed when they say they landed on the moon, they took photos of their little spaceship, and you could see just under the spaceship where they took photos there. There was no evidence at all. There was no area there where, like when you sweep with a broom in the Philippines, you sweep the floor, the dust and dirt. There was no area underneath that ship where you could see anywhere where the thruster rocket had pushed any dust or dirt away. There was all little small rocks, loose rocks and pebbles sitting there that had been not blown away. There was nothing, no evidence of any air pressure or any rocket thrust hitting the ground in the photos. You'd normally see something like in the Philippines when you sweep the floor with a broom, the area you are sweeping, you can see is clean, but the area around there where you haven't swept yet, you'll see all the dust and dirt that you're pushing away. There was nothing there at all, nothing. And even on the little legs, on the legs of their spaceship, they had these golden legs, like real shiny, like golden, like a mirror, the mirror in your bathroom, or the alfoil. There was not one speck of dirt on any of them. They were crystal clean in the photos. So whether they actually went to the moon or not, or if they did go there or not, some of the photos are absolute fake. They look fake rubbish, some of them. Nothing to do with ones that Big E is talking about. He's talking about some other ones where they may have photoshopped or touched them up. This has nothing to do with touching up. This is absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish and a lie. It's fake. There's no ifs and buts about it. Anyone with a common sense and a brain who knows about physics and using an air compressor or using a broom to clean your floor in the Philippines, the footage coming down clearly showed lots of dust and dirt being blown away as they were landing, coming close to the ground. There was no evidence on the ground, nothing on the ground at all, nothing at all.
Hold on 1 second. Let's talk about the physics knowledge, because all the people who make this claim don't understand physics at all. The reality
I understand physics. I've worked in carpentry and used air compressor hoses and that for most of my life. I've cleaned floors. I've done it.
But you've never worked in a situation where you have no air.
No, it showed you the dirt being blown away. You can't twist it into a big, wild explanation of some scientific big physics.
Of course,
the dirt was blown away. It showed you on the footage dirt being blown away out the window. You can see it.
Philippines dirt patterns with something where there is no atmosphere.
It doesn't matter. The dirt was blown away. It showed you the dirt disappearing. It showed you, and it showed you through the window of their footage that they've told us is the footage from the moon landing. It's on there showing you the dirt being blown away out the window. You can look down at the ground. It's all being blown out away from the ship. When you look at the ship underneath it, the landing, there was no evidence of any disfiguration of the dirt underneath a 14,000-pound thruster rocket.
No, that's not true. I mean,
it is. There's photos. I've seen the photos. There's no evidence.
Referring to the reality is, they sat there for sometimes up to 6 to 8 hours before they walked out. Okay, you're expecting to see this huge disturbance, but it just doesn't work that way.
Well, it does. Anyone with basic normal human knowledge, if you saw the dirt being blown away, there'd be some sort of a scour pattern. You'd see something on the ground there. There's little rocks that weren't even moved. That powerful thrust would have blown them loose little pebbles and rocks away from underneath there. They're still sitting there. There's rocks in that, small rocks the size of a marble and bit smaller and bigger. They weren't even disturbed. So that footage is fake. If anyone's got a brain and can see that, you can tell it was faked. Whether they went to the moon or not, I don't know.
Let me interject something here, okay? A fact of the moon landing, okay? The pilot was so good, he was overly good, okay? One of the landers, the feet on the ship, that was damaged, okay? And he was such a good pilot, he had to land because the place where they were supposed to land was too rocky. So him being such a good pilot, he maneuvered the landing craft, okay, to a different location and landed it very softly. It was supposed to be they thought it was going to be a hard landing. He landed it ultra soft because he was such a good pilot, okay? And that's why some of these things look strange and shit, but, they were there, okay?
What do you mean they look strange, or what do you mean? What looks strange,
Phil?
The
photos, some of the photos have been doctored, but there was a reason for that, because the photography stuff that they had back then was not up to standards of what we have now. Unless you wanted to look at a bunch of blurry shit, okay, they had to doctor.
Why are they deceiving the people then? Why didn't they tell the public and say, we have to doctor this to make it look better for you? Why did they deceive all the people?
They wanted to give the people the product of being able to see what it was like to land on the moon.
So
And
in
they
other
didn't wanna
words, they
give
lied.
blurred-
They lied. They
didn't-
lied. They
No,
gave
they didn't
fake
wanna give-
footage to all the masses. They gave them fake footage.
Oh, there was some
All-
doctored footage, but
And
they
all that
wanted to
footage,
give
all
the-
that footage could have been taken on Earth somewhere. When they tested the buggy, like that buggy, whether it even fitted in that craft, they had like a small car, like a decent sized little mini car, where however they got it inside the door of that little lunar module or wherever they fitted it. But anyway, they would have tested them buggies on Earth. The pilots and astronauts would have driven them around Earth. They would have tried them before they took
There's
it to the
no
moon.
question that they tried it on Earth, but you know
So they
that
could have taken photos and faked the photos on Earth
they
easily
could
at
have,
night
but-
time.
how about the Japanese reconnaissance vehicle, a thing that went up, and that we have two different reconnaissance places that are 50 miles from the lunar surface that have shown all the pictures, including the car you're talking about.
Well, if that
Japanese
stuff's really
are
up there, why didn't they just turn the telescope towards it? They got big telescopes in the sky. They could have just
Proper.
pointed the telescope to it and shown us there it is. They've never done it. They've never done it over the years.
Doesn't have the resolution.
There's not a telescope.
That telescope
There's not
can
a
reach
telescope-
Pluto. It can see a
There's
fly
not-
on Pluto, the Hubble
Listen.
telescope. They could
No,
just
no,
point it
no.
at the moon and say, there you go, there it is.
But
Proper.
they have shown
they-
footage.
They
of
don't have a
pictures that were
telescope.
taken in
The
2015.
governments have lied. They've lied before. They lied about the
Never-
Gulf War, about the weapons of mass destruction. They lied about that. There were no weapons of mass destruction. The governments around the world lied. All the major news channels, NBC, the American news channels, the Australian news channels, the British, they all lied to every one of us, saying there was
get-
weapons of mass destruction. You
we
can't
get
believe
lied to.
everything. You can't believe everything that your government on the news channel or your
No.
own news channels tell you. Don't believe everything. You got to question it.
Everything.
Proper.
But
We
you-
get lied to. We get lied to every day by the governments. Okay, but there is not a telescope available on this planet that has the microscopic effect that you can see that surface of the moon. It would have to
Well, they
be.
reckon
but I
the
think
Hubble
they-
telescope can reach
no,
Pluto.
no.
If it can
Yeah,
reach
yeah, you
Pluto, the
could-
moon's
yeah,
way
but-
closer than Pluto.
But you're seeing little blurry pictures. You're not seeing the surface, okay? To be able to see the surface of the moon, I believe they said that the microscope lens would have to be 40 miles wide. 40 miles wide.
And
there
they've
is
got
no
the Hubble
telescope.
telescope that can see faraway galaxies, way further
Yeah.
than the moon, 1,000 times. So
Yeah.
you can't say they can't see the moon. That's silly.
You can
Okay,
see
They'd have
the
something that
okay.
can see the moon
We're
easy.
talking about resolution now. And
Yeah,
you
we're
don't
talking
have-
about resolution. Yeah,
America's
we
got
telescopes,
resolution
we
that can
got
read
telescopes.
what's
We-
the
Even
eyelashes
if
of a
you-
fly
you-
from outer
well, you know
space.
what? You wouldn't believe it. You'd say it's a hoax. You'd
Well,
rather
I'm
believe
not saying it's a hoax. I'm saying
not a
some
hoax.
of the photos they've absolutely faked. So if they've
Okay.
lied to us there, you got to say, did they really go to the moon? Why would they lie to us?
If
Why
you
didn't they just
believe
show us the
that,
real
Trevor,
photos then?
Even
Hey?
if they showed you a telescope right now, you would say, they're just lying to us again.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd have to have a look at it and check out the telescope, how it works and
You know what,
functions. Is it-
Pepper, all of these conspiracy theories are a bunch of BS. I heard
No,
you
that's not true. That's not true.
telling me-
In Australia, they've had companies that have conspired together to set the price of concrete. 3 different companies. They're not allowed to do that. And they've done that in Australia. They got together and talked, different
Oh,
companies, and said, let's set the price
sure.
of this.
Collusion.
That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. To say
That's
that
what I'm
there's
talking
no
about,
conspiracies, that's silly.
the
There are
macro-
conspiracies all around the world.
No, Prepper, the macro conspiracy theories. I can play back video from a year ago with you warning that in about 6 weeks, Australia is going to do this, or BRICS is going to do that, or the collapse of this.
Well, that's just come
Mhm.
up a video 3 days ago. It's accelerating. I never said in 6. Oh, yeah, I did. I said Indonesia, them countries.
Spiritual Prepper, Conspiracy Theory 101. I could
Thailand, Vietnam in November. I'll tell you what you're saying. In November, I said, I don't know if they'll go ahead with it, but they said in November that we just had Vietnam, Thailand, Vietnam, I think Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. They said that they were preparing themselves to stop using the US dollar. They were already had a system in place where they were going to use like trading among themselves, a system set up in their banking systems where they would be able to trade without the United States dollar. And I said there, I said, I don't know if it'll happen in November. They've said that's what the video said. I don't know if it's true, but I said that that's a plan. It could be delayed. It could be pushed back for a year or two. Russia's getting the hell blown out of them over there now. Other countries might be reluctant now to try and ditch the US dollar. But another video just come out 3 days ago, right? This is an important video, Big E and Honeyco and Phil. It's only 3 days old. I wasn't searching for it. It popped up. It's an Asian man. I don't know what nationality he's from, but he's there saying 3 days ago, it's a current video. It's saying that it's showing you that other countries are now joining in with the BRICS nations to prepare this alternative currency. It's not a video from 5 years ago or 10 years ago or a year ago. This is just in the last 3 days. He goes through and explains it all. He says whatever country on earth has their currency, their money system is the world's reserve currency. It gives that country a big advantage. And this guy, it's an Asian guy. He tells you Lavrov, the Russian guy. He tells you the country. He gives you a map of the world, and he shows you the name of countries that have applied to join the BRICS and ones that have showed they're interested. It's like half the world is going to be against half the world. You're going to have the US dollar team, like I said, yes, and you're going to have the BRICS nations team. It's expanding. You can go. I'll get you the video, Big E. It's expanding. More countries are now joining into the BRICS nations.
Let me interject here, okay? Where do you think I've been since September till now?
Who knows? You were over in Mexico or something.
No, I've been in Vietnam, Thailand, and I'm going back to Vietnam the 31st. So are you telling me that the 5,000 I got in my pocket's going to be worth shit?
No. I didn't say that little people in the street can't still take their US dollars over there. I never said that. These countries are preparing to trade among themselves, trading. I didn't say you handing your little money in or bringing your couple of $1,000s over, US dollars changing it. On a large scale, trading. They're trading among countries, commodities, coal, rice, among these Asian countries. They said in November, I'm not saying, I said to you when I told you this video, Biggie, a couple of months back when I said to you, I'm not sure if this is true or if this will happen. But I just said that, I said that this is a thing they're talking about, they're going to do. And I said this could be pushed back, it could be delayed. But they said in November, them 5 countries are preparing to stop using the US dollar. And a lot of them countries are going to probably join in with the BRICS nations. There's a massive threat against the United States dollar. It's going to stop. If this goes ahead, the USA no longer is the world's reserve currency. They bring up another one, or they make the US dollar share that status with another country, or it totally loses it, whatever. It will cause the living standards of the United States to become a lot worse. It can destroy their military. Like if it cuts their dollar in half by 50%, they won't be able to fund their military. And I'm not having a go at America. I love America. Everything I believe in comes from America. Not a lot of the current things they're doing, but their original foundations and their beliefs, a lot of that stuff. And it's not just going to affect America. It's going to affect the living standards maybe of England, maybe Canada, Australia, France, some NATO countries maybe. If the US dollar goes down as the world's reserve currency, it's going to affect pretty badly the USA, maybe their living standards. America, Australia, I'm going to be affected. I'm not that stupid. I'm looking at the big picture, mate. We got Australia, we got America as a superpower. And the living standards of the Philippines and them countries, it may come up a bit. So all these Asian women who hope to get a foreign man, a Westerner, that all may come to an end. These Western men, if these countries go down, their living standard on a long-term basis, it changes. All these Thailand, Filipino and other ladies are not going to want the Western men anymore. They're not going to bother. And their living standard's going to come up. It's not going to bring the whole world down.
Prepper. When did the U.S. become the world's currency?
I don't know exactly. I'd have to look it up. It's pretty easy to look up. 1948 or something. They had a agreement.
1948. And so
something there, whatever.
Prior to that, it was England. So
yeah, for 150 years, silver pound. For 150 years, they had it. Yeah.
Right. So for the U.S. became the world's largest economy in 1866. So it didn't. affect them before. It didn't really affect England after they were no longer the reserve currency. So there's a long history of different countries. The U.S. is relatively new in their being the reserve currency, yet it was a very powerful nation for all the years before it became the world's reserve currency. Just like China is a very powerful economy without being the world's reserve currency. So if they all decided to do that, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
It will be bad because any
Oh
country
my God. I
any
won't be able to
country-
go- I won't be
any
able to go to
country-
IMFs.
all of
I'm in Thailand
all of
right
these
now.
richer nations are probably going to be brought down to some extent. America, if they aren't the world's reserve currency, it's going to affect them badly, right? It gives a certain amount of value to the dollar having that status. And one of the last things that helps the USA to give the value to the dollar is that the OPEC nations all were selling their oil for the United States dollar. But that's one of the last things that gives it the US dollar its value. Before that, it was gold, but they got rid of that standard of gold. Now it's oil. Oil was the thing that gives it a certain amount of value because every country on earth needed to have US dollars to buy oil. You couldn't buy oil without it because all the OPEC nations agreed. But that is very close and very quickly coming to a situation where it may unravel. And if it does, that's the last real thing that gives that value to the US dollar. Is because countries need it. You won't need it anymore. It's going to lose value if they go over to another currency and abandon using the US dollar. It's not going to have as much value. In this video that's 3 days old, this Asian guy in there says, yes, any country that has the world's reserve currency, it gives their country a great benefit, he says. The country who holds that status, their actual dollar. He said it on this video. It's only 3 days old, Biggie. I'll try to send it to you. I think I got your email thing. You gave it to me once. I think I still got it here. I'll try to send you the link to the video, or I can even tell you the name of it. Have you got a device there, Big E, a separate device? Or Phil, have you got a device where you can look something up quickly? Or I'll give you the name of the video.
I have two phones, but
It's worth seeing, man. I'm telling you, it's worth. Don't have to watch it now. But
I've been traveling for 4.5 months almost, right? So
yeah, you don't have to watch it now, but as long as you get it, it's really worth watching. It's only 3 days old, and what it's doing is it's showing you the acceleration of these countries that are joining into the BRICS dollar.
this is the view from my balcony in Bangkok, Thailand.
What's the name of it?
Yeah, I'm not having a go at you, any of you, Big E. I'll look in there. I'll just get the name of it, the channel name. But you want? Wait up.
Well, I'll type it in.
I'm just looking at it now. I'm just looking. The channel name is Sean. The channel name is Sean Fu. SEAN. Use a capital S. SEAN. Sean. Then leave a space and put Fu. Capital FOO. That's the name of the channel, and I've found the video here as well. If you go to his channel uploads, it's only 4 days old in the upload section. Just put in Sean Fu channel, Big E.
I see.
Type that in. Can you go to uploads? Wait up. Let me tell him, Phil. If you go to where it says uploads, you got popular videos, then go to uploads, Big E. If you found that, the area where it says uploads.
I see it. I see the video.
It's the third video, 4 days old. It says BRICS is moving to flip the world order. You see that one? It goes for 14 minutes. It says BRICS Plus. Yeah, have a look at it tomorrow, the next day. I don't hate America. I'm not stupid. This is going to affect Australia. It's going to bring our living standard down if this goes ahead, right? It may make the Philippines and Thailand and some of them countries a little bit more wealthier. It'll bring them up. It might level the world out a bit more. And I don't wish that. This could cause people might die in America from not.
The reason Thailand, the reason the U.S. dollar is falling to the bot right now is because there's so many people here from the USA spending shit tons of money over here.
Yeah. But this is not just a simple fluctuation like over the years you see it just going up and down. This is not this. This is going to be a massive change, Phil. Well, this is going to be a major change.
$6 $6 a massive fluctuation. And when I first got here the first time I was here,
this is going to be permanent.
it was 38 baht to the USD. Now it's 32.64 because there's so many.
Yeah.
Thailand, since they opened up the
Yeah,
borders
but
for
this is
45
not
days,
fluctuation. This is not your
people-
standard
but
rising
people
and
are
crashing of
still-
the dollar. This
but
is not
people are-
your standard rising and crashing, Phil, of what you see.
Bro,
You see all the US dollars up or the US dollars down. How much will I get when I visit the Philippines or Thailand? This is not that. This is going to be bigger. This is going to be a major changing of the value of the United States dollar. But I got some other weird information
I
for
don't
you,
believe.
Big E.
I don't believe. I don't believe
Let me
any Chinese.
digest this one first. I don't believe it's going to happen. My personal
Yeah,
opinion.
well, some people don't believe in stuff because it doesn't make them feel good. They'll push it out of their mind and won't believe stuff without
That's not why I
actually
don't believe it.
investigating the
I don't
information.
believe it because 99.9% of these things never come to pass.
Well, this one here is accelerating. They're putting more nations are being added to the BRICS group: Brazil, Russia, India, China. They show you in there. If you watch it a few times, pause it when they show you the map. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I don't want to scare you. I'm not happy for America to go down. If America goes down, Australia was in with America. We're going to be surrounded by all these Asian countries, and no disrespect to these Asian countries around me. Australia is going to be isolated. What's that?
If America goes down, it's going to be because of social issues that are destroying the country.
Well, how did the Soviet Union go down? The Soviet Union went down because they couldn't keep funding their military. They were spending 60% of their money on their military. They couldn't keep funding it because the USA had the world's reserve currency. They had more money behind them having the world's reserve currency.
Nothing to do with it.
Well, it did. They were a richer nation. They had more money.
1/20th of the size of the U.S. economy with roughly the same population at the time, trying to outspend the United States in military spending. I was in Russia right after it collapsed. It was a third world nation on every level. So it's apples and oranges. You're talking about a $25 trillion economy that's involved in everything you could imagine with the biggest military the world's ever imagined. They're not going to go down the traditional way. They're going to go down because of all the Me Too movement and all the cancel culture bullshit. That's what's affecting America more than
the number one thing that's going to bring them down are the secret societies, the Jesuits and Freemasons who control America. Some of them, not all, not the average low-level Freemason, but the very high-up ones that are being controlled by the Roman Catholic Jesuits. When they get to the very high levels, they have to change their loyalty from their country to their own secret society. That has to be their number one priority. At the lower levels, there's probably many patriotic Freemasons in America who love their country. That's their number one priority. But in all these secret societies, the Skull and Bones, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, whatever, when they get higher and higher up, these are groups to allow them to progress and step higher and higher up in these organizations. They make them to choose. Say, look, we need to know what your loyalty is. Your loyalty to the Brotherhood, or is your loyalty to your own country? If they say that you're going to be loyal, what's that? Sorry.
Does the Illuminati go out and cast votes on behalf of the American people?
On behalf of the American people.
Well, how do these? I mean, they're not.
They're in both sides of government, so they don't care which government gets in. They're in Republican and Democrat. They're not dumb. They just simply get their members in both sides of government, all political parties. They get them in all the parties, so it doesn't matter which one gets voted in. So what you're saying there about doesn't our vote, we vote, that doesn't matter because they've got them in both sides of government. It doesn't matter which party you vote in. They're both in there.
I'm Illuminati and I'm Republican. No, I'm independent.
Well, that's what they do, Phil. They just simply get their members, their secret society members, in the Democrats and Republican. So it doesn't really matter which party you get in there, basically.
Let me give you some advice, though, Prep, on the Chinese guy. You said his name was Fu. I didn't even look it up because I'm on a phone. But
yeah, Sean Fu. It's just a channel name. It's just I don't know if he's Chinese or Japanese or Malaysian. I don't know what he is.
He's definitely Chinese. I'll tell you what, the only Chinese guy I listen to on YouTube is Miles Kwok, and he's a billionaire from China. And he said that China's been trying to, get the United States fucked up for like a long time. First off, it was going to be the technology. That's why Trump intercepted them drones, because you can't own a Huawei phone in the United States because it has spyware in it. Okay, so Trump stopped that. Then they said they were going to plan a way to devaluate the world's currency because they wanted the Chinese dollar to be the strongest. So what happened next was the virus. Okay, And what did it do? It made all the countries close down, devaluated the currency. And their third agenda is to take Taiwan back. Okay. So, and this guy's a billionaire from China. They sent the Chinese guy that was the head of the Interpol at the time to take him back to China. He predicted at an airport hangar talking to Steve Bannon. He said, Jack Ma is going to disappear and the CCP is going to take over Alibaba. This was like a year before the shit happened. And what happened? Jack Ma disappeared and the CCP took over Alibaba. Jack Ma's back. The CCP still owns Alibaba. Okay, he's nothing now. He was a billionaire. The guy that came to get Miles Kwok from the United States from his penthouse in New York didn't succeed. He was the head of Interpol prep, and he went back to China and he disappeared. He's never been found again. The lady that plays in the X-Men movies, that Bing Bing chick, he had a sex tape of her with the head of the CCP, and she sued him because she was laundering $2 billion worth of Chinese currency to the United States every year. She was making way more than she was making to the movie because they were giving a percentage. He had the tape to prove it. She sued him, and she lost because he got the tape that she's with the head of, not Xi Jinping, but the head of the CCP. Okay, he's got the video of her having sex with him. Okay, that's why they want him so bad. His name is Miles. His real name isn't Miles Kwok, but he has videos on YouTube under Miles Kwok. That's the only Chinese guy I listen to. I don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah. If you watch that video, Big E, tomorrow or through the week, if you're only watching it on a small phone, you won't be able to see some of it. If you can watch it on a big TV screen and then pause it, you can actually have a look at the maps and read some of the printing, that they're displaying on there.
I will. I'll do it on the big screen.
I did it a couple of times and paused it just to see what countries. Lavrov, he's one of the high up Russian politicians, saying, they're talking about him, talking about what countries are expressing their interests in joining, and they're going to have a summit in South Africa next year. I think it's they're going to host a summit for the BRICS nations in South Africa or whatever. But I don't wish for any of this to happen to America. I don't fully understand why it became the world. I don't fully understand the conditions of how it became the world reserve currency, because if I fully understood the conditions of the agreement, then I could look at Russia and China and these other countries, what they're doing, and I could say, are they doing the right thing or are they doing something wrong by trying to overthrow the world's reserve currency? Are they doing something wrong? And
Trevor, but you got to remember that my entire lifetime, the Soviet Union was also trying to take down the United States. The thing you have to remember about one little thing you have to remember here: the United States is not going to just sit by like a little lamb to be shorn, like a sheep.
That's why they're killing in Russia, man. That's why they're training up thousands of soldiers, sending their javelins in, their HIMARS missile systems. That's why they're sending and training them up.
But I remember on my show, Pepper, and I think you were one of them, when it started, you said it'll be over in 10 days.
I don't remember ever saying that. I had no idea. I never said that. I had no idea when it would end. Yeah, they probably did. There was probably people saying that.
And this is what you have to always remember, that the person that they're trying to go under, trying to undercut, in this case, the United States, the United States and Europe is not going to stand by to be, they're going to fight back as well.
Well, I'll just tell you something, Big E. I heard something on another video, right? And like you're saying there, I might have said this to you before. I've said it on a couple of these live streams. I do not know if this is true, what I'm about to say to you. It's just something I heard, right? But it sort of goes along a little bit with what you just said about the United States and Europe aren't going to sit down and take this, right? And that is, I think Russia and China, obviously it'd be with the BRICS nation sort of system. Russia and China are pushing towards a currency system that will be backed by gold, right? You've probably heard over the last 5 or 10 years, Russia is starting to hoard up and buy gold, and China, there's not just your average citizen, Phil, but the governments are trying to hoard gold, like get up big stockpiles of gold. So they are trying to base this new currency maybe based on gold. China and Russia have been hoarding, their governments have been hoarding, buying and stockpiling gold, right? But Europe and America, North America, the United States, they're pushing towards a digital system, not backed by gold. It's not going to be backed by gold, their system, right? It's just going to be a digital currency, Europe and America, the United States, right? And one day it says somewhere in the Bible, I don't know if it's got anything to do with this time of our life or what exact time, it talks about people are going to throw their gold out into the streets. They're going to get their golden coins and just chuck them out into the streets. So what I'm saying is that also in the Bible, it talks about, I think it says the bear of the north or something from the north is going to come down and attack Israel, right? And also the kings of the east. And if you look at where Israel is on the world map and just look east of Israel, China is east of Israel. All the Asian countries, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan,
and
Afghanistan. Yeah, but we're down the bottom, and we may be a defunct nation. We're sort of down lower. We may not be able to come there. We may be hedged off by the Asian nations above us because we've gone in with the USA, Biggie. You know, we're in with their dollar basically on their side. We're in there fighting the Russians by dropping all them weapons in the little jeeps, the little armored vehicles we're putting in Australia. So we're in with England and America to protect the world reserve currency. We're trying to destroy Russia because Russia is a member of the countries that are trying to destroy the United States dollar, the BRICS nations. That they are involved, the BRICS nations. So it says in the Bible, the kings of the east will come against Israel. So any country east of Israel, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, all these countries, China, North Korea, and plus North, this is in Bible prophecy for those who believe in it. There's people, they talk about it. The kings of the east will come against them. And one thing that could happen, if all these BRICS nations, which are around there, up above, Russia, China, and a lot of the Asian countries, I'm not saying nothing bad against them. I'm just, explaining. If they base their system on gold, Biggie, they try to say, well, we've got our currency set up and it's all going to be backed by gold. If something happens and that system gets rejected, right, after they've stocked up all that gold, and if they believe that America, a lot of these people get around the world saying, oh, America's controlled by Israel, they say, this, I don't believe that. But if a lot of the minds of Russia and China and a lot of these Eastern countries, some of the Asian countries believe that America is controlled by Israel, and if they believe America and Europe have something to do with destroying their new currency system, the BRICS system backed by gold, where China and Russia is hoarding up all this gold, if they believe that America's destroyed it, but they're actually really controlled by Israel, then you could see Russia come down against Israel and all these nations east of Israel that have probably joined into the BRICS system, where their currency's been, it might go for a little while, then collapse and be destroyed. They would all come merging, all them nations come in from all the nations around the complete of Israel, China, Vietnam, Thailand, maybe the Philippines. I can't guarantee all of them, but it says kings of the East with an S, not one king, but the kings of the East. They may all come in when their currency system, for whatever reason, it gets rejected, and come in and want to kill and destroy Israel if they believe, like some people, Israel controls America. I don't believe that. I believe the Jesuits and the worldwide Freemasonry controls America, not Israel. They don't control America.
No,
they might have
believe that either. But here's the thing.
Here's that goes along with what you're saying. But just I thought I'd tell you that.
I don't believe any of that stuff. But
you don't believe America is planning a digital system with Europe? That's what they said. They're planning.
By the Jesuits.
What's that?
And I don't believe America is controlled by the Jesuits. And here's the thing: these are one wild speculation after the next. Anything could happen. Nobody knows what tomorrow's going to bring. But if we judge the history of countries that have tried to upend Israel, England, America, there's a long list of countries that have tried to do that, and they didn't succeed. Just look at Russia. They thought they were going to roll into Ukraine and it'd be done in a week. Yeah. Not going so well for them, right?
Every country has an Achilles heel. You should know that. Every country can have a weakness, an Achilles heel. And the way to destroy America without setting one bomb, without shooting one bomb at America, you don't have to shoot a single bomb. the Russians or the Chinese don't have to sail their ships towards America and start shooting cannons into the cities. They don't have to do that. All they
I
have
agree,
to
but
do is
those
destroy the US dollar as the world reserve currency. If they can take that away from America, you'll destroy their military because it'll cut the value of their dollar in half. That's how to
those
beat them.
two countries that you just mentioned also have Achilles heels, and
But
you don't
they're
think
also, yeah.
that
Yeah, I'm
they have
sorry.
Achilles heels too, and you
I
don't
know,
think that the
I
other
know.
side is going to try to do something subversive to them as well, like they're just
They
going to stand.
are. That's what they're doing in Ukraine. America's training thousands of soldiers to kill Russians. They're putting sanctions against them because Russia is actively involved in their gang, the BRICS nations, to destroy the United States dollar as the world's reserve currency. So when
It
you say,
seems
don't
like
you think they take some measures? They are, Big E. Every
right, and
time
it sounds
they give
and if
javelin missiles.
the
Yeah,
objective was to have taken Ukraine in less than 10 days, that has failed miserably. So
yeah.
probably any attempt to destroy the U.S. currency is probably going to fail equally because I don't think Russia and China. I think you give them a lot more credit than I would. I've been in China.
I'm not saying they'll succeed. I'm not saying they'll succeed. All I'm saying, it's building up. More countries are joining in. I'm not guaranteeing that it will happen, Big E. All I'm saying is they
Okay.
are trying with this system. I'm not saying without a shadow of a doubt it's going to happen. I'm just bringing to your attention that you've got the BRICS nations. You know about them already, but it is expanding. More countries are joining into it, making it a larger size for their gang. You know, their gang, the Crips against the Bloods, against the USA, the two gangs. Their gang is getting bigger.
I will watch it and I'll keep an open mind. But I also
You're married. You're married to your wife in the Philippines, aren't you? You're married, legally, properly married, aren't you?
Huh?
You're legally, properly married to your wife. But that one thing I'd say, like they say, you've heard the saying, do not put all your eggs in one basket. You've heard that, right? What I'm getting at is that I've told other people this. You probably heard me say it. You could put all your money into the stock market, or you could put it into gold, or you could put it into real estate. But another thing that you can do, if your family in the provinces and that, if your wife doesn't live in a province area with a decent little yard, but her aunties and sisters do, they have good farming, little blocks of land with mango trees and bananas and that. They might not have rice, but they might have good garden sizes. You can invest some of your money in them family, what I mean, in their farming facilities to build up storage sheds for rice, give them good, strong concrete buildings that rats can't get into with really good, high-quality roofing to stop water dripping in there, or containers, shelving in containers to store rice, or other. You could build a root cellar on their block of land, a little root cellar to store, sweet potatoes or cassava, make them last longer underground, keep them cool. You could invest some of your money that into your wife. That's why if you're married, legally you can invest in land with your wife there, some of your money. I'm not saying put it all there, but if I was going to trust in the stock market, or trust in your family's land, investing in your wife might have sisters and brothers who all have decent little blocks of land. You can help to build their wells up, better, stronger quality wells that'll last for 100 years. If they need maintenance and upgrading, put a bit of money into building up big and strong. And Honeyco, if you make a little bit of money out of YouTube, if you got your family, your mum and dad or aunties and uncles, you could consider investing in their land to build up the water wells for production of food, irrigation, build up the land to help not just feed the family, but all their neighbours in their little area around them. They can feed their people around them living close and help in their community. But if anything goes wrong, Big E, you can just go with your wife and children. You go out to your auntie or your sister, your wife's sisters or brothers. You just go there and there'll be food there. You won't care what happens to the world economy.
Just for
you don't have to tell me what you got to. Keep it secret. I don't want to know what farms you got.
For you,
yeah,
we have many hectares, and I've spent over $1 million pesos on a greenhouse alone.
That's awesome.
Other investments with that thing, exactly what you're saying. But I also
that's
have
awesome, man.
In the stock market.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And
if you make money out of it, but Yeah, sorry for
Yeah, I've been
keep going.
investing in it since I was in my early 20s, and I've never skipped. I've always put a percentage in, and it's paid off really well. So, but I also have a farm for that very
Yeah,
thing you just said.
yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really good of you. That's smart. That's really good. You can even build the houses in such a way, if you can. You might have them that they're relying on electricity now, but you can look into the design of the little houses you build and make them in such a way that they'd be as cool as you can possibly have them without having any electricity. You know what I mean? Like you have a slanting roof, or look at in the Philippines, there's local Filipinos who know how to design some of the houses to be more efficient for electricity. They keep them cooler, like higher ceilings, or you know what I mean. There's different, put verandas around all around the house to get the sun off the walls. There's different things you can do to invest in your house to keep it cooler in summer and that, and without might be able to save money on power if the power grid goes up or down, or it can save you. But that's smart, putting some of your money into farming land. If anything goes wrong, Big E, you can go there. I was going to ask you, not now, but I was going to ask you about some tips. I remember you told me you had multiple bank accounts, and I'm not going to ask you here now, but I'll ask you some other time, just for some of the name of some of the good banks, and some information about when you have different bank accounts. In some of the Philippine bank accounts, I think you have to put a small amount of money in each month or so. If you don't keep putting little bits in, they'll charge you a little fee, like you get hit with a small amount of a fee or something like that in some of the banks. I'm not sure if it's all of them. Have you heard of that? Just that?
Yeah,
that?
you
Yeah,
do.
I won't talk to you about it now, but
Well, we'll do it on another show. But yeah,
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, Big Kevin, John Baker. Hello.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll get going. Thank you, Honey K, for allowing me to come on to the show. Thank you, Big E, and thank you, Phil,
Bye, Pepper.
for letting me talk with you, gentlemen.
You haven't
Okay.
watched any of my videos, man? I've been posting from Vietnam and from Thailand and everything on my channel, man. Coffee shops,
I'll come-
motorcycle rides, that kind of stuff. Go
I'll
check
come
it
over
out.
and I'll come and have a look at some. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what country you're in around this world, what country you're in. If you do have some food in your garden, I'm not saying it will save you or be the ultimate thing, but it can be helpful. If you see these problems around the world or economies going up and down, if you got food right where you live, sweet potatoes all around your garden and bananas and coconuts and mangoes, it will help your family a bit. If things get harder or tougher in any way, it'll help you out. You know what I mean? All right, everyone.
I'm a meat eater. I'm gonna have to become accountable.
Well, you
That's
can,
good
but even
advice,
that meat
though.
might run out one day. So yeah, everyone have a great night. Everyone, Honey Co, Big E, Phil, all you and all your families and friends and everyone in the audience, have a fun, fantastic, safe, great week, everyone. And if you want to do something positive in your life, if you have a chance to grow a lot of food in your garden, if you do, look into it. If you don't, maybe your aunties and uncles or your family might have blocks of land, and encourage them to grow plenty of food in their gardens for the future. You have lots of food for your family. Everyone take care. God loves every one of you. Take care. See you later, eh? Take care.
Okay, later on,
Bye,
Pepper. I just hope the dollar stays strong, so I can keep going to massage parlors.
Were you quiet, guys? I'm just listening.
Yeah, I was just listening too. Hi, Nicole.
It's
Hi,
about
Nicole.
to the moon.
Hi, Nicole.
Ay, nako.
Let's
Feeling.
get
Oh, I
back.
do agree with him on that one thing. That's why I built a greenhouse and farm, and I think there's some good practical wisdom in what he's saying. I also think that people should be investing 15 to 20% of their income, if they can, into the stock market and into other investments, because I've had phenomenal results doing that, and I think anybody would if they make sensible investments, not risky investments.
Yeah, stay away from the cryptos. Stay away from the
S&P
cryptos.
500, and pick 4 or 5 different stocks, stick with them. Don't be in a rush to get rid of them, and you'd be amazed how that money grows into millions over a relatively short time.
I'm gonna live for the music. Give it everything you got. Live for the music. You ain't got a lot to lose your mind. Boom, boodaloo, 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 boodaloo.
Okay, what else is the topic now? Back to Darren Dobson's.
That's their conspiracy theories. Darren Dobson flashed himself for conspiracy. It's all conspiracy. He never did it, right?
What?
He did it for money.
I
How do you
like
feel paid him?
I like Prepper, but I don't agree with any of the views as
I
far
know.
as.
I didn't get to say that I had a chip in my right hand. I didn't get to say that.
But I
he was
like the
talking.
fact that he has a chance to express his views, because I think that people, we don't want to be an echo chamber where everybody just says the same thing. It's kind of boring. So I appreciate that he's willing to come up and try to share his point of view.
Well, like I said, though, I only listen to one Chinese guy, and that's that Miles Kwok dude, and because he has nothing to lose, except they were trying to get him back to China, And everything he predicted has happened. That's why they want his ass so bad. Now, him saying that the CCP wants the United States currency to crash, of course they do, because they want their currency to be the #1 currency. And if you're talking about why countries, he says Brexit countries are joining up, because every time the Fed increases the interest rate, their debt gets bigger. That's why the dollar stays strong. So why wouldn't you want to join? Why wouldn't we?
Well, all these statements have been being made for decades.
Yeah.
And
the United States is going to crash.
I was in the Soviet Union right after the wall came down, and I was so shocked at what a poor country it was. All our lives we grew up, you were there, we thought that we're like the same, like equal, but they're the bad guys, we're the good guys. And then you go there, and it was so shocking. And, if they would have had the opportunity to do it, they would have been able to do it. And they were trying to do it much more than China has been trying to do it. So could it happen? If anything could happen, but I don't buy it.
Well, where most of the young Russians are at, right? Because they don't want to fight in that friggin' war. They're all in Vietnam, man. When I was there, man, there was tons of young Russian guys in Vietnam, man. Dodging the draft, man. They don't want to fight that war.
Well, Ernest, the thing is, we have 7% inflation, which is not great, but it's not that bad. The thing is, people always think that life was better back in the good old days. I can give you 1,000 numbers that tell you that it's much better today than it used to be.
Of course. What, the life expectancy years ago was what, 50-some years old?
Not even that.
Yeah,
Take crime, for instance. When we were a kid, I mean, my parents would just kick us out of the house. We'd go out, ride our bicycle, do whatever. Nobody even thought twice about it. Nowadays, people are scared to death because, it's so dangerous. But in reality, New York City has 1/10 of the amount of crime that it had in the 1960s and 70s. Los Angeles, where I was born, has a fraction of the crime, not even a tiny fraction of what it did in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And yet everyone's scared and everyone's expecting a collapse. And the truth is, it's never been as good as it is right now in the U.S.
Billy's dead. Thank God for paint chips and A1 steak sauce. Oh my God.
Your first mortgage was 14%. And what is it now? Now it rose up, right, to a whopping 4%. And
it was down as low as what, 3.4?
Yeah, but people thought that was normal. And after Reagan in 82, when the inflation went down to like 2%, it stayed there for 40 years. But historically, under Carter in 1980, it was 14%, and interest rates were 21%.
If I had millions, I would have at least 10 of them in a Vietnamese bank, man, because they pay 9.5% interest, man. And that's on small amounts. So imagine how much they'd give you if you put like 10 million in one of their banks.
1981. That's right. So 1981, they started raising interest rates like crazy to fight inflation, and it worked. Created a recession, but it corrected that problem. But if you look at the life of the average American compared to 1980, it's dramatically better. The average size house is almost twice the size of what it was in 1970. And you're in Canada, the life in Canada for the average Canadian. Canada was the 51st state that nobody ever talked about. Now it's always listed in the top 10 countries. The lifestyle, the average house, the car, everything like that. Philip knows, he's older than me. Nobody had 2 cars and an air conditioner in the 1960s and 70s.
They were lucky if they had. They were lucky if they had a fucking car. Most people were using transportation back then.
So, and then we have, of course, the internet. We have these phones. Not everything's perfect, but it's a lot better than it was.
Man, I wish I had a cell phone like we got now. Man, I could have my own porn site, man, with all the videos I could have made.
Well, you're a musician, right?
Yeah, I got laid a lot.
You could have, if you were 20 years old right now, or 25, and let's say the Hollywood's, music industry or whatever said, hey, we don't want you. You don't look the part. You have the ability to make your own, produce your own, and become a multimillionaire without any agency and without any studio or anything like that. You could do it on your own.
And without using YouTube.
You could go directly to your audience. So I'm not saying, I'm not Pollyannish here, but we lived under the threat of a constant nuclear holocaust all my lifetime. Prior to that, we had the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Nobody that could possibly tell you that things are worse right now. And they're not worse in the Philippines right now either. They're a million times better than they were 50 years ago.
I'll tell you what, when Trump got in, my lifestyle went up about 20% better when Trump got in the first time.
Well, look at you. You're traveling around the world right now. You're doing things that everybody wants to do. And
Yeah.
And I have to go back home because I have to vote for.
And if you go back 50 years, the Honeyco of 50 years ago would have nowhere to go. No job to go to. No
She's still an egg. 50 years ago, she was still an egg.
Things got better. That's all I'm saying. They improved. I know there's people that feel like they're left out of the equation. They want to go to Southeast Asia to find happiness and love and all that, but it's not. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes people are left out, but the vast majority have it better than they've ever had it. Nobody wants to hear that. We love to hear the prophets of doom telling us how everything is horrible and the sky is falling, but it's not happening. Not according to
what hurt the United States' industrial revolution was the fucking scientists with this fucking global warming shit because of the carbon emissions, man. Them lying about the shit so they can get their money for their grants. And I saw the fucking emails. I saw that shit. Phil Jones in the UK lying to that motherfucker in Pennsylvania with the hockey stick theory. Oh, well, we had to fake the numbers so that we could get the money. They didn't know what the fuck's causing global warming, and they still don't know what's fucking causing it. But they're trying to blame it on carbon emissions. I'm not saying that the world's not going to global warming and that the poles aren't melting, but they can't prove that it's pollution that's doing it. It could have been us launching rockets through the fucking ozone. It could be the fucking magnetic poles are shifted. It could be just a natural thing that's happening. But they're blaming it on carbon. They want us to pay other fucking countries. And now the United States isn't producing plastics anymore. And they're not producing as much steel as they used to produce. So basically, the scientists put a fist up our ass. That's what I believe.
Malak-8, they all have chance, Malak-8.
You would admit, though, that if we could eliminate blasting emissions into the atmosphere, that it would be better, right, than if we did do that.
Well, yeah, for the fucking ecology, but I mean, for the economy, they fucked us over 30 years, man. You know, plastic, like Ernest is putting in the chat, you know, I know what he's talking about, the lead factory that she worked at. And the paint factory you're talking about there is Glidden, if I'm not mistaken, Ernest. Glidden. Well, what was that lead company called? Was that called Hammond Lead? I think it was called Hammond Lead, if it was, you know. Jupiter Metals, yeah. But look at U.S. Steel is producing what, 10% of the steel that they could actually fucking produce because EPA says they don't want to pay the fines. It's not worth paying the fines to produce, you know, at 90%, you know. So China's making all the fucking steel now, and they're putting the carbon up in the air.
But you gotta look at it this way.
But they're not paying Somalia. They're not paying Somalia for their fucking carbon credits, you know.
You live in a country where you get to vote, right?
Yeah.
And if the Congress and the elected officials that we put into power say we want to go green and get rid of all that, that's the problem of the people that elected those people. That's what they elected.
I didn't vote for any of the motherfuckers. Well, I take that back because when the first time that Obama ran whatever against Bush, I knew Bush was gonna fucking win Indiana anyway, so I voted for Ralph Nader, who is an ultra fuckhead. But I did that only because he was on the independent ticket, and if they got 15% of the vote, they got equal benefits in Indiana. So my vote actually counted for something because they did get 15% of the vote that time. Even though I knew he wasn't going to win, I just did that because I couldn't vote for either of the two fucking evil assholes. You know? And no, it's not because Obama was half black, or that had nothing to do with it. It had to do with his connection to William Harris. Because when I was in the service, I had to cap one of them fucking weathermen in San Francisco. Okay?
This chat has gone into lots of directions, Honeyco.
Yeah, we got educated by spiritual prepper, man.
It went away from wieners, and now we're into.
No, we're still on wieners.
We're still on wieners. Okay.
We're still on political wieners and conspiracy wieners now, though.
I don't know, Captain. What time there, Biggie? It's late there, right? 3 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 3:40. I can't believe I did this. I was going to only play my song, and now I'm here for 3 hours.
Boogs.
It's fun to do it once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Wieners are us.
That's it.
It's time for me to get down off here too. I was first up here with us. I've been up here 3 hours and 20 something minutes, and my phone's about to fucking die. Listening to spiritual, bro. See, he's talking to me about Thailand and Vietnam, and fuck, where have I been the last 4.5 months, man? I've been in fucking Thailand and Vietnam.
You know.
Well, that's the reason the dollar right now, like I said, when I first came here, it was 38 something baht to the dollar. Now it's 32 something baht. And the reason that happened was because all the influx of the fucking tourists spending fucking money like hand over fist here, man. It's fucking crazy, man. They're just buying shit left and right, which is helping the Thai economy, which is making the baht stronger, right? Because they have more dollars to pay off their debts with. You know? And it's probably going to continue to go down, you know, unless the Fed increases the interest rates again.
Which they're probably. I doubt. No, they said they were going to.
I doubt they'll do it before the first of the year, though. They'll do it after the first of the year, right?
That's 11.5 months from now.
They're going to wait that long?
No. They're going to raise 1 or 2 more times because inflation did go down a little bit, and the unemployment rate's at 3.5%. So they feel they can get away with it because the economy's strong.
Well, if I don't go back, how am I going to absentee vote for Indiana, man? How am I going to absentee vote? Because I am not voting Democratic this time. There's no fucking way.
Why don't you just stay there until after the election?
Well, I mean, if I'm here, how could I vote in the election? Well, Indiana will go Republican anyway. It doesn't really matter. 'Cause Indianapolis and South is all Bible Belt thumping Republicans, right? So
Look for a street preacher.
Yeah, that prefer.
we got one. What are you talking about? Look for one. We had one here a minute ago, man. The sky's falling. It's the end of the world.
Not sleep yet, Biggie.
It's a
Damn,
wild
I
ride.
wish it-
Prepper comes up.
Yeah, well, you notice how I said, "Here we go," right? I said that when he first came up. I said, "Here we go."
I know it.
But I knew he was gonna keep going and going and going. But see, he won't let you get in not one word edgewise unless you wait. Then the guy said, "Let me interject here a little bit," you know.
I know. You have to not say anything, and then it'll stop. Yeah, I've been down
Also,
that.
when you pull up your ideas on 4chan, right? Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm gonna drop down, Honeyco. Thank you for having me up, and you too, Philip. And
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm dropping off here too. I don't know what she's gonna do. Who's coming up? Who's coming to take our places so you can talk about Darren Thompson's wiener? Come on.
Thank you, both of you guys, for
Hey,
coming
good
up.
night.
Good
No
night,
problem.
Biggie.
No problem.
Night.
Honeycomb, good talking with you. I'm glad you let Prepper up. I'm glad you let him up. Some people won't let him on the panel. You know? It's good to hear a different point of view, even if it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spiritual prepper, man. Okay. Okay, I'm out. He's Ingat Honeycomb. Magandang gabi to all you guys, man. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I gotta go to bed. I got shit to do tomorrow.
Go to nap, Lolo.
I'll leave the stream go. I'll leave the YouTube on and I'll be in the background. Okay. We'll talk
Okay.
with you later. Okay, Honeycomb. Okay. Bye bye,
All right.
sweetie. Bye bye.
Night. Sweet, sweet dreams.
I hope so.
So, guys, we are landed to the moon. Yeah, I don't know where is Internet Monster. Whoa, 3 hours and 31 minutes. Just gonna. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming. So, if you want to come up, guys, continue the controversial topic. Why you said bye-bye, Big Kevin? Where you go? Okay, Philip, go to sleep, Philip. Okay, we need part 2 manag 8. So, we back in 1 hour. So, what the manag 8, what the title? Give me the title. Any suggestion for the part 2? Yeah, it's 3 hours. Any suggestion, guys? What if I got home from church? Okay. How about this? Let's talk about Part two. Ay, ay, ay. Huh? Should I should be listening? Huh? You do walang egg. Walang egg. Ito ay. Ay, nako. So, any suggestion? Funny topic malapit. Aray ko. Put your head on my shoulder. Only once. Baby. Go up with Kevin talk about Frankie. No. No, no, no. Philip Janet, no. Philip Janet, I don't like fighting on my channel. Baby. Okay, guys. See you in 1 hour, guys. Part 2. Okay. Thank you, Malak 8 Ernest, Philip, Big E. Thank you for coming. Big Kevin. Thank you, Big Kevin. Okay, guys. See you in 1 hour. Part 2. Part 2 is stream. Bye, guys. Yeah, Philip. Bye, guys. See you later. 1 hour. After 1 hour. Not na. Hindi pa. Later, Ernest. Back later after 1 hour. Part 2. Okay, guys. See you. Love you, guys.